Cool.
So we just.
It is an earworm like that. Those 4 notes. Damn.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think the song.
Okay,
sounds...
you don't have to love what I love.
I mean, everybody loves it though, so I'm obviously wrong.
Not necessarily.
Well, the cool
Listen,
people.
I get it. It's clever. 40 acres and a mule. You know, I get it.
Well, no. I'm not even talking about that. I just think, I mean, there are some songs that, yeah, I will say like the lyrics are important. The lyrics aren't important in this song. It's just like an attack on Drake. But the melody, like, I just think it's aesthetically pleasing to me.
It sounds,
but that's
a
total matter of taste.
Like, it sounds like really basic. Like, it's so.
Oh yeah.
Simple.
Oh, it's totally basic.
And it's like,
but that's okay.
It just sounds like somebody would make it in.
Oh,
MIDI,
it's just that hook
MIDI.
and then a very pretty simple beat. Yeah,
you know, the people used to make songs in MIDI. Like, it just sounds like that. Like,
I like the sound of MIDI recording. So.
MIDI.
That's just me.
So I'm wrong, obviously.
Okay, we are on YouTube.
Are we ready?
We are on recording. I'm ready. You ready, Chinny?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's start the motherfucking show, bitch.
That's the only time I'm gonna play. Oh crap! I closed the wrong window. Damn it!
What the hell are you doing?
Sorry. That's my bad.
Oh my God.
Let's start the motherfucking show.
How about that?
All right, here we go for real. How about that?
Welcome yo to the veteran gamers. Juju, Chinny, other fellas will tell you about every single game that you play this week. News, reviews, and an indie pick. Stu story time and Chinny's game breakers. Here comes Duke with the soundbite savior.
How about that?
It's the veteran gamers.
Stu, you are
It's the
wrong.
veteran gamers. It's the veteran gamers.
I just want to say, f this game, I'm done.
If you want more of the Duke, both my albums are for sale here. Smooth as Silver and Hi Ho Duke.
Switch that console off before you have to press repeat, yo.
Hello and welcome to episode 790 of the Veteran Gamers Podcast.
Yeah, 790. What's up, people? I'm Duke.
I'm Stu.
And I'm Chinny.
And Avowed is my game of the year. There, I said it.
Oh yeah, we'll see. We'll see. If this is
it's
true.
February. There's not like what else? GTA 6. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on,
It's
come on
me.
now.
Come on. Anyway, more on that later.
Yeah, more on that
We
later.
can't talk about video games straight away.
Hey, by the way,
God forbid.
can we just mention
Yes?
10 episodes to 800 shows?
800 shows.
10 episodes.
Damn.
We should plan something.
Maybe.
Yeah, we
got 10
should.
episodes to plan it.
Yeah. Meanwhile, in 790, the Anglo-Saxon missionary Alcuin returned after an 8-year absence to England.
Fantastic. So
there you go.
I think, what if we do something radically different for
Ooh.
Go
episode
on.
800?
Go
Like
on.
not do a show, just take a week off.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, let's do that.
Why don't we get people on the show to guest and
Oh,
Just talk-
sweet.
talk
Hey, we've
about
never
it?
done that before.
We
Or
haven't done that.
Me
That's
and
really
Stu
cool.
go to Wisconsin. and
Ah,
we
That'd be
Oh,
cool.
hell
We do
yeah,
it
dude. That
live.
would be radical, bruh.
That'd be cool. But although it's a bit snowy
really
out there, I don't
awesome.
like cold
Snow.
weather.
Yeah.
Don't like
Yeah,
it
it's
cold.
still snowy.
Is it
Same
still
as last
snowing?
week.
Wow.
It's the snow hasn't melted. Like we haven't had new snow, but it's the old snow from last week. It's still here.
Wow.
It just sticks around for a while.
Sticks. The snow sticks. You see, in this country, it snows, and then by the middle of the afternoon, it's just like grey shit.
Yeah, sure.
That's what happens
I
in
know
the
that.
UK.
That's our spring. That's what gray shit is technically the Wisconsin name for spring in the indigenous Ho Chunk language. So
No, you know.
What can you say about that?
Right. So how about that? Somebody got a story time? I got a story time.
It's time for a story, it's time for a story. A very special story, especially for you. It's time for a story, it's time for a story. Sit down and listen now, don't be a Jew.
All right, so I had 2 victories this week at school. All right, you ready? Victory number 1.
Okay.
Yeah. So a student emailed me one night saying, Mr. P, I'm worried about this new law, this lawsuit that's trying to take away rights for disabled students. 17 states have joined this lawsuit trying to get rid of a law known as 504 law. And there's a lot of students in a lot of schools across the country who have what are called 504 plans, which are basically accommodations for students with disabilities. And I don't know that my student is happy with me talking about her particular situation, but anyway, so
Well,
she was worried about it.
You have not named her, you know.
Well, no, that's not the point. I don't want to risk giving any identifying information. So the point is, she struggles with some stuff, and the 504 plan has been very helpful for her, as it is for lots of students. So these states have, sued the federal government to try to overturn this law. And so I went looking into it, and then I went to her the next day, and I was like, all right, because she's also in Amnesty International. So every week we meet to talk about human rights and what we can do about human rights in the world, mostly, write letters, lobby Congress, all that stuff. So I came to her and I was like, okay, here's some background about the law. Here's an article from a journalist talking about why it's so important for her and why the lawsuit is so dangerous. And then here's this disability rights group that's doing action, and we can encourage people to take that action. And she said, it seems like people also need to know about it because most people don't know. And I was like, that's right. We have to raise awareness. So parent-teacher conferences are coming up this week. Yeah, folks come into the building and we meet with them, right? Talk about their kids. So I said, ooh, we should table at conferences and give information about this lawsuit and encourage people to, contact their elected officials. And I was like, I should see if the principal would allow that. The second I said that, the principal comes walking past the room we're in. And I was like, holy crap. So I go running out. I was like, principal, get in here. And the principal comes in. She sits down. She listens to the student talk about this issue. And I was like, can we table at conferences? And the principal's like, yeah, I don't see any reason you can't do that. I was like, yes. So that was such an awesome victory. The timing couldn't have been better.
So let me ask you, why are they trying to get rid of a law that helps people?
Well, that's a good question. If you ask Greg DeLacy, our good friend over at the Overseas Connection, with whom I've been chatting about this on Facebook, he'll say it's because there's basically woke stuff that's in the law, or it's being interpreted as needing to allow like trans students and queer students gender affirming care. And that's not what the law was intended for. So we need to get rid of the law. That's what an article said that he shared with me about it. So I don't know if Greg's necessarily co-signing that, but that's what some people are saying. However, the Attorney General for Texas, the state that started this lawsuit, says you don't have to worry about it. Everyone will still have their disability rights protected, even if the law is overturned.
Oh,
and I don't trust
if that's
that
true or not. Who knows?
I don't trust him.
Your country's stupid.
It is stupid.
You're telling me. So anyway, that was a victory to get the assistant principal. So anyway, I think that a lot of states want to overturn this law because it costs states a lot of money to implement it, right? If I say, sucks to be you, wheelchair dude, then I don't have to build a ramp.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
this is a trouble because everything comes back to money. It doesn't matter what it is. It all comes back to the
But it often
dollar.
comes back to, I don't like paying taxes, which I get it. I don't like paying taxes either. But, hey, that's the price we pay for a decent society, people.
Who's in charge of this, like, bringing this up?
That's a good question. I actually don't know because it'll be, it's the state of Texas that started it, but somebody behind the Attorney General in Texas probably is funding the push to get rid of this bill because they stand to, have a lower tax bill if they can overturn the law.
Yeah,
so
money.
I'd have to look into it more. It's a good question. Yeah. So anyway, that's one victory. The other victory has also to do with money. I have a student who, like at the beginning of the school year, there's this organization nearby our district called CEOs of Tomorrow. And they sent me an email being like, hey, do you have any students who'd be interested in like working with our program and doing some small business, education and stuff? And I was like, yeah, this kid and this kid. I just picked two kids that I thought might be kind of interested. And one of them, I don't know about the second one, but one of them like dove in. He was like, yeah, I'm totally going to apply today. And can you write me a letter of recommendation and all that? And I was like, well, I think since I nominated you, you need to get someone else to write it, whatever. Anyway, I saw him, it was months ago. And I was like, I saw him recently and he was like, thanks for nominating me for that CEOs of Tomorrow program. And I was like, oh yeah, when is it? Is it in the summer? And he goes, no, it already happened. And I was like, oh shit, my bad. I didn't realize that you had already done it. He's like, yeah. And I won $1,000.
Wow, nice.
Wow.
I was like, holy shit, dude, go
and
get
you're
him,
like,
man.
holy shit, dude, where's my $500? Where's my $500?
I said, you owe me 10% of that legally.
Yeah.
Cough it up. Yeah, so that was pretty
And
awesome.
he says, "I'm a
I felt very
motherfucking
happy for
CEO
him.
now. I don't give
Yeah.
no shit,
Yeah,
motherfucking
you
money."
work for me,
Show me
bitch.
the money.
I don't need shit from this school. I don't need shit from my teachers.
Yeah.
I don't need to stop cursing in
Did he
here.
say like, "I'm basically a millionaire. I never have to work again"? I went, "I don't think $1,000 is that much."
Dollar.
Oh yes, it is. It is when you're a teenager,
You're a
bitch.
teenager,
All right, could you just stop calling me bitch,
I've gone the
please?
wrong
All right,
way.
bitch. Whatever you say,
Whatever,
bitch.
rich bitch.
Trying to get me camera
So
out,
it was
by
a-
the way. I've now made it worse. I'm like
Yeah.
even
Oh,
less on
boy.
the screen now.
But it does represent
Well.
how small you are in real life.
I know. I am very small.
Oh,
Now, do you know? To be fair, I have a long body and very short legs. That's
Oh,
that's
yeah,
You
me.
do have
you
short
do.
legs. You do have.
oh yeah, you
I
got
do have short legs.
long
and very
body.
tiny hands.
tiny
Such a
hands.
long
Very
body.
tiny-
Tiny
I
hands.
guess I shouldn't play that either, huh?
If you put your
Yeah,
hand
well.
up to the camera, Stu, it'll still look like it's next to your head. That's how small it is.
Okay. Let's have a go.
Look, see, tiny,
Tiny,
hand.
tiny hands. Tiny hands.
Anyway,
I'm
do
still
we have
going
All right,
Tiny
anybody else
hands.
got a story?
Oh,
No
that's
one's
a bit
in the
better.
chat. No one's chatting.
Come on,
I
people,
know.
be in the
Don't know
chat.
what's
There's 4 of
going
you
on.
watching.
Yeah, there's only 4.
on.
That's quite low at this point.
Let's
Wow.
be in the chat.
It's quite low. By the way,
You're all
health
sacked. You're all
health update.
Oh, yeah.
Health update.
Health update.
So I went for a
Health.
treadmill stress test on Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
And
So,
Did
don't
the
know.
treadmill survive?
oh, you
Yeah,
haven't got
good.
result.
Yeah, no, because
was it
of
like this?
this-
It was like Homer Simpson when he's running on the treadmill, and they're like the X-Files people are watching. They're like, it's intoxicating. It's like a lava lamp.
No. They're very cagey. They're very cagey, aren't they, when you go and have
Oh,
these
yeah?
tests done? And you go like,
Okay.
oh, so how did it go? Anything significant? And she was like, well, there was quite a few ectopic beats, but I'm assuming you know about that. So I was like,
What is that?
yeah.
Is that a trance band from the 90s?
It is.
Ectopic-
It is. Ectopic
Ladies and
beats.
gentlemen,
That'd be a
welcome
good
please,
name for a
Ectopic
band.
Beats.
Ectopic beats.
Yeah. Or a DJ
Um,
channel.
Treadmill.
So, yeah. So, but it was a weird.
I just thought he could stand to lose a little weight.
His jiggling is almost hypnotic.
Yes, it's like a lava lamp.
It was a weird experience, though. It was a
it?
very.
Oh
odd
yeah. Why is that?
Because I goes in the room. Obviously, I've never had one
Yes.
of these before. Goes in the room, and this girl's like, "I'm the technician.
Yeah.
Right? Can you take your top off?
Ooh.
No.
Bit forward. We've only just met.
Is that part of the thing? Yeah. She never heard that before.
Crikey. No, I didn't say
Did
that.
you say, warning,
Oh,
I'm
man.
amazingly
I didn't
sexy,
say-
you might get
I didn't
turned
say
on."
anything. Yeah. I said, just be careful. This is hot stuff.
Yeah.
That's
Uh,
right.
So I said, can you take your top off? I'm going to rig you up to an ECG. And she
Yeah.
said, this is a doctor. And there was a doctor there as well.
She just pointed
Oh,
at the
yeah.
wall. She just pointed at the wall. She's mental.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
There's a doctor
Doctor.
behind this wall.
And the student.
oh.
Student
Oh,
nurse.
my
Oh, the
goodness.
student nurse as well. Do you mind if she stays in as
also-
well?
All my family
Um,
are here.
And here's the cook from the canteen.
Yeah.
She just popped down for a bit.
Yeah.
You know, it was a bit weird. So I takes the top off. All right, I have some tracky bottoms on because
Yeah.
obviously you have to wear loose clothing when you're on a
Okay,
treadmill.
you don't have to paint that much of a picture, Stu.
I know. So they said, right, we're going to take your blood pressure before we
I
start.
need to
And
do this.
obviously-
Sorry.
Recording in progress.
Really,
Carry
that,
on.
that's
I also
a bit
have to do.
late.
I also have to do this when Stu asks, "Why are all these people watching?"
Son, this is a teaching hospital.
There
Yeah,
you
well,
go.
that's pretty much what it was.
Yeah.
So she does the blood pressure old-fashioned way. So while since I've
Okay.
had that, do you remember where they
Wait, what's the new fashioned way? The old fashioned
Go-
way is squeezing the thing. What's the
Yeah,
new
well,
fashioned way?
Well, the news like they just put it on and it press a button. Don't
The
they?
old-fashioned way is
Oh, really?
putting 3 leeches on your balls.
Yeah, that's right. Well, she
Oh,
nearly did.
3
She-
leeches. Ooh,
then she
fancy
went,
pants. You got one
"Can
of those
you-
Oh,
modern
you got
hospitals.
those modern leeches things, huh? Crazy.
I got.
Then she went, "Can you take your trousers off?" No, she didn't.
Really?
No,
Oh.
she didn't. So
How else are we gonna put the leeches on?
So she rigged. So it did the blood pressure. Right. Did all
What does it
that.
sound like? Okay.
And
Okay.
and then she said, "Can you stand up and we'll do a base reading for your ECG?" So I stood up and she did that. Yeah.
How much
And
of
then
this exam are you going to walk us through, Stu? Because I feel like
I
we
know,
just
I'm
need
getting-
to
I'm
get
getting
The
to
there.
whole
This-
thing.
this-
Shut
well,
up, Chinny.
get in there,
The
get in
listeners
there.
are on the edge of
I
their
feel like
seats.
I'm there.
So she gets me on the treadmill. Right. She said, right.
I thought I
get-
was going on too long with my student who won
Get on the
$1,000. Go ahead,
treadmill.
Stu. Yes,
with
you're
all
on the
your-
treadmill.
with all your jiggly bits out. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
she's not like put your t-shirt back on. She's like, fine as
Yeah.
you are.
Yeah.
So I guess on the
Uh-huh.
treadmill and she goes, right, level 1. So
Level
level.
one.
And it were
Oh
pretty.
yeah.
It was pretty fast. I mean, you know, it was pretty
You were
fast to begin
struggling
with.
on level 1.
I was like,
Well, you're
"Fucking
used to
hell."
walking, so it puts you on.
How many
you-
levels
it's
are
like-
there? 16?
Wow.
Fuck you. no.
Slight
Are
incline.
you ready
The
for the
total-
boss of level 1? Here comes the boss fight.
The maximum time it can take is 15 minutes. So the maximum they'll do it for is 15
Right.
minutes.
I'm seeing.
Yeah, but if it's on level 10, it's like
So,
the longest
anyway,
15 minutes of your life.
Level 1, slight incline, probably about 2.5 miles an hour. So not
Yeah.
too fast.
Okay.
really.
Yeah.
I'm with that. Doing it 3 minutes of that. So do 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And then, right, 15 seconds and we'll go to level 2. In the meantime, dude's still doing blood pressure tests. So I have to keep sticking my arm out, right? Sticking a stethoscope
Oh,
up it,
snap. Ah.
giving it all this while I'm trying to concentrate on walking on the treadmill. It was the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
Level
I'm
2.
sorry. Is there a lot of concentration involved in walking on the treadmill? Like,
Well, walking on treadmill, sticking your arm out, waiting while he's doing it. It was a bit
okay,
weird.
fair enough.
You cope with cooking.
I know. Multitasking, man. I tell you, that is not for me.
Yes.
Not for me.
Right.
Level 2, bit steeper, bit faster. You know,
Yes.
it's getting there. We're getting there. And then another 3 minutes of that. Fine with that. All right. Gets on to level 3. And it was pretty steep. It's pretty steep, level
Yeah.
3. And do you know, have you ever been on a treadmill? I'm assuming you've both
Yeah.
been on a
Yes.
treadmill.
Oh yeah, I grew up in a house with a treadmill. I used to run on it
Right,
regularly.
no,
when
well,
I was
you
a
know-
I
teenager.
was born on a treadmill.
Do you know where it's at? In between a walk and a run. Right,
Yeah,
where it's
sure. You
sort
got to
of
kind of skip a little or else run slowly.
almost too fast to walk, but you know,
Yeah.
almost not quite fast enough to
Yeah.
run. And
Yeah,
it were going at a fair lick. And the guy's trying to do me thing, and I slightly lost my footing.
Oh, no.
Right. Didn't fall. You'll be pleased to know I stayed on my feet. It was fine. It was only a
it
little,
would make me very pleased to know that you fell because
No, I
that would be a
didn't fall.
hilarious image.
it was only a little wobble, right?
Okay.
But she went instantly. She's like, right, we need to stop there.
Ah.
Turn it off! Turn it all off!
Was
And
it
I
Get
was
the
like,
MDs
I
in
know,
here.
right? And I
Bring
was
the
like-
pedals. I'm okay. No, sit down. Bring.
It literally was. I'm like, I'm fine. It's fine. I just stumbled a little bit. It's fine.
Oh,
And she went, nope.
we
I think
can't take any chances.
We've got to 92% of your maximum heart rate anyway, so it's fine.
Wow.
Well, you should have. I bet you were furious because you were like, I should have stumbled earlier.
No, I was furious. I
No,
was actually.
The nurse was furious. The under over was 94%. God damn it, man!
Yeah.
Couldn't you get a little better?
I was annoyed because I didn't keep going because I was all right. My legs were
tell you
slightly
what,
aching
though,
a bit, but I
it's
was
a-
all right.
It's a good reflection on you, Stu, because you don't normally finish video games. You get like about 90%.
So anyway, that was it.
We
And
have
then
a
she's
laugh.
like, I had to sit there for 5 minutes while I recovered, and then they kept taking your blood pressure and measuring while seeing how long it took you to get your heart rate to get down to like
Yeah.
a lower thing.
Yeah.
And I don't now
Crazy.
I've just got away. So I don't know. I guess we'll find out in
Well, I hope you find. I hope it's good news.
in 3 months. We'll find
Well,
out.
you're still alive, so it can't be that bad.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Guess.
What you don't think you're alive? Is that what
I
you're
don't
humming
know.
and hawing about?
I'm
No,
not. I'm never
I
too
might be
sure.
dead. I might be dead.
Never too sure. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was
This could
fine.
be a dream, man.
be-
How do we
could
know?
be.
Could be limbo.
Could be a dream.
Descartes said the only
It
thing we
could
can
be.
really be sure of is that we're thinking, so we are. But it could be
Yeah.
a dream.
By the way, we watched
I guess you're still
the,
alive if you're dreaming.
the Conclave.
Oh yeah, I want to watch.
Oh, we
that.
watched The Substance.
Oh yeah,
I
and-
watched the. Fuck you. How about that?
The fuck you. I hear
That's a good. I've heard that's a really good movie.
Yeah. I want to watch
Substance
the
is great.
Conclave. I want to watch it.
Do you know what? For a movie that is primarily set in one room
Mm.
Yeah.
with lots of people talking,
About
Yeah.
about like the Vatican. as
About
well.
papal
replacing-
elections. Yeah, right.
replacing the
replacing the nun.
Yeah,
the-
yeah,
I
sure.
was going to say a nun then.
The nun.
Replacing the nun.
Replacing
And it's
the nun.
timely because this Benedict's he ain't got
Yeah.
long. It looks like.
Oh,
Well,
what
Millie
the current
went-
Pope? Is he
Our
your
Catholics-
master? Is your
Yeah,
master?
he's
Oh
about
yeah,
to-
he's got
he's about to
pneumonia.
croak.
He's,
Yeah, he's about to
the,
croak.
the headline today was Pope has restful night. Like that literally was the headline because he
Yeah.
has pneumonia and he was not doing
Oh,
great
I
yesterday.
read-
And so the headline was had a restful
I
night.
read one yesterday.
Oh.
It was like Pope is stable, and then today it was Pope is in serious condition or something like
Oh,
that.
poor
so-
Pope. I don't wish
It's
ill
looking
on
good for the
anybody.
Pope.
I like this Pope compared to the last Pope. Fucking Nazi psycho Pope.
Because isn't the current Pope quite a nice chap?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he's
pretty
just
decent.
old.
He
He's
said
just
like
really
gay people
old.
can get into heaven. Who am I to judge? Which is a weird thing for the Pope to say. Who am I to judge? You're the Pope, dude. That's like your whole job.
Like
That
everybody,
and
everybody looks
apologizing
to
for the
you.
shit that your bishops do.
Everybody
yeah,
looks
exactly.
to you to judge.
Yeah, 2 billion
Yeah,
people.
exactly.
Like, who should we judge?
You know what?
He's like,
I'd like it if you just went, don't know if this shit's real, man. I'm playing Indiana Jones and I'm in the Vatican. I don't know.
That reminds me, I have another game to put on my list. I'm sorry, I totally forgot.
But anyway, it was interesting. It was
yeah,
a
I want to watch
movie.
it. Yeah.
For
but-
something that lasts 2 hours of people just talking and dramatic music, there's a lot of dramatic music.
At the moment, like I'm very annoyed because we have a Armars in the chat. We have a 2-tick system at work, right? So
Sorry, my bad.
So the people that have the best taste in TV shows are me, a chap called Ollie, and a chap called Rick, right? And if 2 people have seen something but the third hasn't, that means it's got the double tick, which means the third has to
Interesting.
watch it, right?
Yeah.
So my homework is Severance. I have to watch Severance.
Yeah, it's pretty
I
good.
want to see that
like
at some point.
Severance.
And
I like Severance.
and Ollie's homework was What They Do in the Shadows. I watched What They Do in the Shadows. And Rick's
The
watching
movie
it
or the
on-
show?
Well, the show, but I don't think he knows the movie exists. But
Oh, the movie is so good. I haven't seen the show, but the movie is.
the show is better.
I've heard good things about
Right.
the show too.
Um,
Wow, hang on a
it's better.
second.
It's better.
Have you seen the movie?
Yes, it's better.
You've seen the movie, and you
Yeah.
say the show is better.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Okay.
100%.
Well, I want to see the show.
100%.
All right.
Anyway, so we get this double ticks, but like then Ollie's now watched. He's caught up to where I am in What They Do in the Shadows, and I haven't watched one episode of Severance. And I'm like, it's so difficult for me to watch an hour.
You have a little
of TV,
baby.
right? Well, she's not a baby anymore.
God
she's
damn,
a
there's
toddler.
6 seasons. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
finished.
she's
now.
barely a
finished.
baby anymore, to be
She's a
fair.
toddler now. She's walking now. We bought our first
Alright.
shoes yesterday.
Oh, nice.
You go to Clark's. You
We
go to
went to
Clark's, get a
Clark's.
feet measured.
I went to Clark's and got them
Yeah.
measured. Yeah, and she got her first proper shoes because the shoes you bought, Stu, they're not real shoes, are they? They're
No,
like,
they're not. They're toddler shoes.
they're
They're just
baby-
crawling
yeah,
around.
yeah. But,
they're not
um,
meant to walk in
these
those.
are proper shoes. That she
Yeah.
uses, and she likes them. She walks around.
Oh, I
in
bet
them,
she does.
And she kept them on, and
Oh.
yeah. So that's good.
She kept him on. Well, that's a good thing.
Well,
isn't
you
it?
don't know. Sometimes when she
Yeah,
likes
I
wearing
can't tell
them.
with babies.
She likes wearing them.
Yeah.
She likes accessories. She puts hats on herself now. She likes to put
Nice.
hats on. She likes to put shoes on. She goes shoes like that. Yeah, anything like that. So she's all good. Oh, next weekend, by the way, will be next Saturday will be the first night that Tara won't stay here. She's going to a spa, overnight spa.
Ooh.
So it'll be the
Home Alone, Home
first
Alone.
Get your
time-
spa on, Tara. Go
It's
ahead.
the first time that
That's
she's going
awesome.
to be away from the baby a whole night.
Father-daughter
Aw.
bonding.
Well, all weekend we're going to be father-daughter. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait.
Nice.
I'm taking it to
See,
Leyland.
that's how you know that Chinny's not like most fathers. I can't wait to spend time alone with my baby girl. Most dads would be like, for fuck's sake, we get someone to babysit. I don't want to have to take care
Oh,
of
don't
this.
get me
Who can
wrong.
have fob her off on?
I am going to be fobbing her off to my mum and dad on Sunday. Like I won't leave her
course
there.
you
Oh, well, there you
are,
go.
of
So
course
you're not
you
going the whole
are.
weekend.
No,
yeah.
no, I won't. No,
They're
I'm
going to come and you'll be like, no, I don't want you to
I'm
take
not leaving her there because my mum and dad are too old. But like, I'm going to be with her. Like this is what I did today. I went to
Yeah,
my mum
sure.
and dad's and like
Yeah, but you'll take a nap.
yeah. No, I won't take a nap. She'll take a nap.
Oh?
No, Chinny will
okay.
probably take a nap
I
as
won't
well,
take a
to be
nap.
fair.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
No way.
If I were you, I'd want time
won't-
alone.
she
Oh,
won't
you want
say.
video game time. That's what you'll be doing.
No, I can't drop her off. I have to take her and be with her. She's
No, but you could bring a Switch. You have a
I don't bring
handheld of some
fucking
kind, don't
Switch.
you?
No.
Well, you have a phone, don't
So,
you?
let me ask you a question. Do you not trust your mum and dad
They're-
on
Stu,
their own?
They're old.
He just said they're very old.
They'll be fine.
Are you joking?
That'll be
I
fine.
was with them. I was with
Fine.
Rosa and my mum and dad today, right? And my dad was playing on the floor with Rosa, and I'm like, "You shouldn't be doing that, Dad. You're 81." And he's like, "I know."
He's
And it took
fine.
him half an hour to get up, and I was like,
I know, yeah, and his,
and
his
my
knees
mum-
were shot for the next
my
2
mum
days.
like picked her up, and I was like, "You shouldn't pick her up because my mum's like because in all seriousness, they are getting on like my mum and dad." And
Yeah,
she picks
sure.
her up, and because she's happy to see her and be with, I'm like, "Don't pick her up." And then probably about a minute later, she's like, "I can't hold her. I can't. They can't. They can't look after her on their own. Like she's just
Oh.
too much."
Yeah.
So obviously,
All right.
Tara's mum's, or I can leave her there. Like,
Oh
see you
yeah,
later.
Tara's mad as a bag of wasps. She is. Bloody hell.
So no, but yeah, I'm looking forward to having her all weekend. Yeah.
So Chinny, just so you know, Amar says Clark shoes don't translate to non-Clark shoes. Just a heads up, it's different. So,
Well-
in case you were worried.
Nah, we've got our own
Yeah.
measurer thing anyway.
I was going to say, there's
Oh,
probably
okay.
some translator thing on the internet where you
no,
can
we got
translate.
we got a
Clark's to
measurer like,
normal.
where we can measure her feet ourselves, so we can buy
Are they
shoes.
are they from France? There's Clark shoes from France. Is that why you need a translator?
There you go.
Let's move on to video games, I think.
Hey, I convinced them to move on to video games.
Where are you going? Story time's over, isn't it?
What you been playing?
Short version.
Short version.
Remix. Yeah, who's starting this week?
Who is starting?
I started last week. I'll start again if you want.
I'll start.
Go ahead, Stu. You start. Go ahead, buddy boy.
So I was gonna make a concerted effort to try and finish Indiana Jones this week.
Oh yeah.
Oh crap.
And I have made a lot of headway, but I didn't quite get to the end. But I have made a lot of headway.
Close.
Yeah. Do you know, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, because at the last time I played it, I got up to where you had to get the rebreather thing to go underwater, right? And I'm like, and you need about 500, whatever the currency is in the game, dollars or whatever the hell it is, to buy it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, God, where am I going to play? This is no Nazi war camps
Remember,
around
we were
here.
at the same point last week.
Yeah. So I'm like, where the hell am I going to get this from? And you have to go to a Nazi war camp. There is one there.
You have to get the gold, don't you?
With fascists in it. And it's a bit weird, right? There's some parts of the game where it's a bit jank. Where it's a little bit jank.
Well, I was going to say, Stu, this area that we're in is the jankiest part of the game.
It's very jank.
Sorry, which area are you in right now?
It's
like a jungle-y...
It's kind of like Vietnam.
You're not in the Himalayas anymore.
No.
It's kind of... It's...
Did you finish... I'm looking at a list of the chapters. I'm not going to give anything away, but did you go through Shanghai?
Yes.
Yes.
So now you're on to... Apparently it's Sukhothai?
Yes.
Yes, that's where we are.
And it's... I think it's the worst area for bugs in the game. There are a ton of bugs in this section of the game.
Well, it's a jungle, so that makes sense.
The biggest issue I had with the sneaking around the camp bit, right?
What's that?
I was hiding under a building, so in presumably fairly dark, you probably can't be seen by anybody, right? But the minute an enemy walked past within any sort of, and you could see the face, they could see you underneath a building, and I'm just like, no, that's bullshit.
I think that's
possibly
correct.
See. No, it isn't.
I think so. Because the amount of times you've played a stealth game and like you're hiding in some bushes, but you're sticking out a fucking mile.
No, well, in this one, I was so far under the building. I was right at the back.
Well,
it would have been impossible. It would have to crouch down and shine a torch underneath to even remotely see me. So I didn't agree with that. But I did find a fairly good shortcut that made it a hell of a lot easier. So the first time I got seen, it was a nightmare. There's about 1 million of them turned up, right? And I was like, oh my God, this is...
Where that gold is that you've got to steal. It's a very populated area, isn't it?
So what I did, I legged it. And it happened, it was only by pure luck. There was an underground secret area. Did you find this?
I found it eventually, yeah. But I did this a different way, so...
All right. So I went in the underground secret area, which gives you like a statue, and then you can crawl out of there, and you're basically on the steps to get into the place where the gold is.
So where you go in.
Yeah. So it made it so much easier. Yeah. But when you get in there, there's bloody loads of guards in there as well. But I managed it all right, and the puzzle bit was easy, so that was fine. Got the gold, and then it's easy. Once you got the gold, you just go down a zip wire thing and you're completely out of the camp. So it did make it easy at the end. So it wasn't that big a chore. I thought it was going to be a lot bigger than it was. So yeah, got the breather thing, and then you have to go and find the blessed pearl, supposedly. A blessed pearl. And there was a pretty good puzzle, I thought. Have you gone this far?
Yeah.
So you go and do all the underwater stuff.
Yeah. Oh, is it the cog puzzle?
No, the one after that. So you do the cog puzzle first.
That third cog was a pain in the arse to find, I thought.
No, I found that pretty quick. The one that's on where you have to go in the other room and jump up.
I like how Stu's response to Chinny saying it was a pain in my ass. I thought Stu's response was no.
I didn't find it out. But what I did do, I did wander around for quite after finishing the first side of the puzzle.
Yeah.
I didn't realize because it was completely different holes on the second puzzle, and they didn't look like holes. No, so I wandered around for ages, like, why is it not working? I've done this, I've pulled the lever now,
That's
and
unfortunate,
it's the water's
issue. I'm really sorry that you made such a genuine mistake. That sounds difficult.
But then I realised that I was like, oh, you can
Even
put
though
them in
it's
here.
something that I immediately observed and
Of course you did.
I won't ridicule you for not spotting
It was fine. Anyway, I did that, and then we opened it up. Then you get to the pyramid, and then there's a giant snake.
Oh yeah, that's a good bit. This
giant
is like
snake.
massive spoilers, by the way. So
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
fuck you
Giant snake.
if you've not played.
So you're in the second to last location.
Yeah. Well, I thought we can't be far from the end. So that was a bit of a pain in the ass because I kept getting lost. I'm like, which way?
I did the giant snake. I liked it.
Yeah, it was all right. Once I figured out where to go, it was fine.
Yeah, it's good.
And then I kind of like the boss battle with the
Yeah.
giants there. That was pretty cool. Pretty
Yeah, it's
cool. And then you have the stupidest boss battle. So you do another puzzle. This is a puzzle that I enjoyed, actually. It's the one with the pegs.
Oh, the game.
Yeah, I kind of like that, where you have to move all the pegs around and get the stuff pointing. And what I would say about the puzzles in Indiana Jones is they're always clear what you have to do, I feel.
Yeah.
It's pretty, well, apart from not knowing where to put the cogs.
Yeah, well, but only an idiot would
I
do
see what
that.
you did there.
That's because I'm an idiot. But this puzzle, it was fairly clear because obviously they're all pointing towards the open door when you pull one out and it moves the whole shut.
Yeah.
And you're like, I get you. And it took a bit of brain power, I must admit. I did mess around with it for quite a while before I figured out which way to put stuff in to get it to do what you needed. And it was pretty cool. But yeah, then you have the stupidest part. What did you think of this boss fight? So I'm not going to say too much, but the boss fight.
Is that when you fall down?
Yeah.
I did it easy.
Yeah, I found it was fairly once you've sort of got the hang of blocking, it's not too bad, is it? Really?
I've got quite a lot of stamina and stuff though.
Yeah.
I've got loads of stamina and loads of health because I've been reading the books and upgrading.
Yeah, well, I've done all that shit, so I wasn't too bad at this point because I've actually used all the books that I had.
Yeah, but there's loads more books that you.
Oh no, I'm
haven't
sure
found,
there is. I'm sure you're right. I'm sure you're right.
which gives you like more shit.
But it still wasn't that difficult. I didn't struggle that much, to be honest.
No, I didn't struggle.
So I did that, and I think that's where I'm up to. What happens next? I can't remember what happens next.
You sort of, I don't know. You sort of just.
Oh,
bugger off
you
from the
go.
pyramid.
Yeah, you go back and talk to the dude. I'll tell you where I am. So you go back and talk to the dude in the village, and then something happens, and you're like, "Oh, I need to go and investigate that." And that's
Is
where
that the
I'm
one
up.
with the eye patch?
Yes.
That's a side quest, by the way. I think.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, Stu's doing
I
side
didn't get-
quests without
No,
even
I'm not.
realizing it.
I didn't get the impression it was because it was part of the main story. Because after I'd spoken to him, it's like, "Oh, go and speak to her."
Well, I did
and
that before the snake mission.
Well, when shit blows up, because you have
Yeah.
to go back and see it. Is it?
Yeah, I did
Well,
that
I'm
before the
confused
snake
now. I
mission.
thought that was the main quest.
The snake mission is one of the last things I did.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I've finished it, by the way.
Have you? Well,
Oh,
how much?
snap.
So how far am I
You're
from the end?
close.
Yeah, I thought that probably must be.
You're close, but I've done loads of shit in that area. So
Yeah, no, I'm sure you have. I've
there's-
done as
there's
little as
loads
possible.
of there's loads of like camps. There's loads of
Well, you get that book, those books, don't you? Off the dude, he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, buy these books."
there's, those cog puzzles. There's about 4 of them scattered around.
Yeah, no, I've seen that. There's a lot of those.
Yeah, so I've done most of pretty much everything, and then you go to another country after that, and then that's quite short. Not a lot to that. You could probably
Right.
I reckon you got about a good hour and a half.
Yeah,
two-
so not
2 hours.
not too long.
If you don't do
Well,
any
I'm
more
off.
side quests, then you got about an hour and a half. to
I'm
do.
off tomorrow, so I should probably finish
Yeah.
it tomorrow. I reckon.
Yeah, it's good.
Finish it.
So what's your overall view then, having finished the game?
I like it. No, I think it's really good. I think the ending is fun. You know, like an Indiana Jones ending. Like if you think about
Right.
how Indiana Jones films ends, like it gets a bit surreal.
It's a lot of
and
spectacle, a lot of big stuff
supernatural.
going on.
There's a
Yeah.
big thing that you uncover that
Okay.
that you didn't that is never mentioned, and you're
Oh,
like,
right, okay.
oh, this is what it's all about. Is for this, right?
Mm.
And there's a fight and Voss is in it, and yeah, I really liked it.
I assumed there'd be a boss fight at the end.
Yeah,
Is it with the dude that you fight at the beginning as well? Is it the same dude that you
No,
fight? Or
it's
is he just he's a
the
lieutenant?
main villain is a chap called Voss, who's
Yeah, it is.
he's
I
a-
get the impression, right? This is only a guess from me, but I wondered whether he may become an ally at the very end. I don't know.
who Voss.
No, the big dude, the giant,
Locus.
the giant
His name's
Locus?
Locus.
Yeah.
locus.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. You'll have to play it.
I'll have to wait and see. But that's
Speaking of Locus,
that's my.
he was voiced by Tony Todd. And do you know who Tony Todd played in the Half-Life games?
Don't.
No.
Yeah, the Vortigaunts, whatever those are.
All right, they're the main. They're like the allies, the alien allies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I'm happy with the ending. It's a silly ending, but it's kind of fun. You know what I mean? It's just big sort of indie romp.
Yeah.
But I wanted to talk about that last area because there's a bunch of bugs in that area where you're in a boat and you have to travel by boat.
Yeah.
And Gina, who's traveling with you, sometimes she comes off the boat with you and does the main missions with you, and she does a couple side missions with you. But she doesn't do, if you're just dicking about and you're going off and collecting stuff, she doesn't go off the boat. But the amount of times, and when you come back to the boat, she's always got like a line of dialogue. She's like, "Oh, did you have fun without me?" or whatever, and she says that even if she comes with you as well. So there's like this weird bug.
By the way, I haven't said this. I really like Gina.
Gina's
as
a cool character. Yeah, she's a really
so
cool
good.
character. She really
So
Gina
not
Linetti?
like,
yeah,
she's so not like a lot of like female characters in video games.
yeah. She I like how she calls
Meaning
indie,
what?
Indie. She likes-
She's less stereotyped. If you know.
Okay, good.
She's,
Yes,
kind of sassy and kind of
Okay.
yeah,
cool, and
she
she's
holds her own.
funny, and she totally holds her own. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then she quite often gets into scraps with people.
And,
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 stuff.
and the whole thing with her
Yeah.
sister as well is like a good subplot, isn't it? I think.
Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
like that, and so what happens there, and there's more of that as well.
Yeah, no, I assume that because that's not been resolved yet at
Yeah.
the point in time.
And no, it's good. There's one point in the game where I pulled somebody off a step, not a ledge, a step, like a 2-foot step, and he
And he
went
died.
"Ugh," and died. And
Well, he had a heart attack because he was surprised
and
someone
to
pulled
top
him
it
off.
to top it off, I got an achievement for killing someone by yanking them off the step.
Ah, yeah.
So yeah, and
That is funny.
But there's, like I said, there's a bunch of bugs in that last area where like certain things don't
Good
line
God,
up.
how long is that bloody
it's all-
achievement?
It's a
noise?
long sound, I know. It's
It's-
8 seconds apparently.
Christ.
Sorry, Chin, you go ahead.
And it's just like things wasn't lining up as well on that area. Like there are bits of like woods, like bit of like planks of wood like flying everywhere and stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
it just felt like definitely the worst in terms of
Yeah, I think the other problem
the
I had.
least fixed part of the
Yeah.
game. Everything
I
else
was gonna say
polished.
the other issue I had with that area of the game was just it was a bit laborious on the boat.
Yeah, when
wasn't
I
it?
found out you had to travel by boat, I
backwards
was
and
like,
forwards.
fucking hell, this is a bore.
Yeah.
And luckily, the boat
Yeah.
actually controls quite well.
It didn't control too bad, but it was still a
but I was
pain
still
in the
like,
arse going
but
from
the good
place to
thing is
place.
you can fast travel once you get to places, so it's
Yeah,
not a
yeah.
big of a deal. But yeah, when I found out, I was like, fuck. But to be honest, it was hard in Egypt. You know when you have to run around like a dick in Egypt. and
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of running around places.
The only
isn't
thing
there,
I
in
might
this
do
game?
is I might go back to the Vatican and just because I didn't do any side missions in the Vatican, so I was
No,
like,
you just
now I know
there'll be loads of them.
Now I know how the game works. Now I sort of figured out the formula of the game. I might go back and just have a quick
Yeah,
look around.
have a look around.
But I'm done basically. I'm finished with
Yeah.
it. So yeah, but I really liked it. I think I placed it on number 5 of my top 5 games last year.
Just
And, I think I'm
Because you had
happy
only
with-
just started it.
Yeah, I'm happy with that to be honest. I think
Mm.
might have snuck up one, but like it wouldn't have been my top game. It wouldn't have beaten like.
Do you know?
Helldivers and stuff.
I keep forgetting this came out last year. I keep
Yeah.
thinking it came out.
This came
early
out last year, don't forget.
No, I keep forgetting that.
There you
Sure.
go. Nice one, Strambo.
Do you know why Todd Howard wanted Machine Games to do this game?
I don't know.
No.
Apparently it's because they did Wolfenstein, and so they know about fighting Nazis.
Yeah.
Well, that
makes
is
sense.
probably
That's what he
true.
said. Yeah. And you know me, I'm not the one to complain about this sort of thing, but this is fucking ridiculous. I'm reading from the Wikipedia page now. Due to the frequent appearance of the Axis powers forces and propaganda in the game, known for their various heinous war crimes against humanity in World War II, the game also includes a cultural sensitivity warning. I don't remember seeing that appears when the player starts the game for the first time, indicating that neither the game nor its developers condone the Axis powers actions. Imagine that. You have to say, just so people know, we do not agree with the Nazis.
Just in case you wondered.
This day and age, you do.
Well, that's the world we're living in. Elon Musk obviously agrees with them. His fucking fascist.
Can we just say that they are also portrayed as baddies in the game?
Well, of course they are.
It's
They're
not
the
like
Nazis.
they're portrayed as goodies, is it? You know what I mean?
And also, Indy constantly says, "Well, at least I'm not a fucking Nazi or whatever." He's gonna be.
Well,
always,
there you go.
He's always saying.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, thumbs up from y'all on Indy. Yeah.
Good game.
Yeah,
like
no, I'm
it.
enjoying it. Like I say, it should hopefully get it finished off tomorrow.
Like
I knew that two of you are always been a fan of indie games.
See what you did there.
The humor.
The humor.
All right, so me then.
Yes.
Yes, you.
Right.
You.
So there's
You
this
there,
game called
you.
Sizable. Speaking of indie games, I'm playing a game called Sizable. Have y'all heard of this at all?
Absolutely not.
No.
It was one of these games I never heard of. Every day at noon, Steam updates its sale. 2 games go on sale, and then like twice a week there will be a midweek sale, weekend sale, whatever. Sometimes it's a developer, and more lately it's been like this developer.
Bear with me, chaps. I've forgotten to take my pills. I'll be back in a sec.
Oh,
I just
crap.
realized. I don't know what made me think, but I just
I
realized.
gotta take my pills. Anyway, so they're okay. Go take your pills. So it's lately it's been a lot of developers like, here's all our games on sale, or there's been like celebration of games made in Poland or whatever, that kind of thing. So it's interesting because stuff just randomly shows up from my wish list on sale. Anyway, so
What the fuck
it's funny
am I
too.
looking at here, Duke. What am
So
I
this
looking-
game Sizable is it's the type of puzzle game where there's no real story. It's just a series of levels, which I like because I can do a level, quit out. It'll take 5 minutes to do a level. There are these little vignettes. The one we're looking at now is a pyramid thing from
an
like
isometric little vignette.
it's isometric.
Little
You can
scene.
rotate it in 3 dimensions. Right, you can rotate it 360 degrees, and the whole game is just manipulating stuff bigger and smaller.
Right.
So when you make the clouds above this scene bigger, for instance, they start the wind moving. Sometimes you make the clouds bigger and you will make it rain or whatever. Sometimes you need, and most of the things you can manipulate the size of have 3 sizes, small, medium, and large. Right. And once you figure that out, then you can figure out, okay. And the whole point of every level is to find the 3 obelisks and put them in the little ghostly squares. And once you do that, the level's over.
I see.
However, there's also a hidden turtle in every level. So now, since I realized that, I'm like, I got to find the turtle in every level as well. And fortunately, it's not too much of a pain in the ass yet to find the turtles as well. It's a cute game. There's not too much to it. It's just, kind of what you see is what you get. That said, there have been some head-scratching moments. There was one with 3 sections of track, and once you figure out how to get something else on the level lit up, it'll start this roller coaster car going down the track. And if and you can't get all 3 to match up, you know what I mean? Because the car needs to land on this target, and every time it doesn't, it just resets. So you have to keep adjusting. I don't remember exactly what I did because it wasn't about manipulating those types of track. The final track, you just have to let it not touch the final track. It was about the other 2 tracks, and then there was something else like it bounced off of or something and then landed on the target. I don't remember exactly what I did. But anyway, it's that kind of thing where you think you know how to solve it, and then you realize, oh, wait, it's this other thing you got to do. Sometimes you change the size of something and it becomes daytime or nighttime. Like we're looking at one now with the campfire in it. And when you make the campfire go, and you can also, you hold the campfire near the snow and it'll melt the snow. And then that'll reveal things.
It feels like
stuff like that.
It's one of those games where you just sort of click in a lot to see.
Yeah.
You are clicking a lot, but it's not
a bit of trial and error.
It is some trial and error, yeah.
Well, that's
but
clever. You
it's
make
also,
the sun smaller, then it becomes winter.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yep. And each level has a new type of thing like that. So it's nothing revolutionary. It's not going to be anybody's game of the year, but it's fun. It's cute. It makes sense. you know, like I said, it's a great game to start up, do a level. 5 minutes later, you close it and you move on to something else.
Yeah.
It's definitely, it's got a bit of a Monument Valley look about it, hasn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
But
the
not obviously
isometric
that.
rotate
Yeah.
puzzle type thing. And it's nothing to do with like perspectives the way
No,
Monument
no.
Valley, at least not yet. But you know, in this one you're seeing we're building a snowman, right? So there's that. And then, you know, and it's just kind of interesting ways of manipulating the objects that you might not expect at first glance. So yeah. I'm having fun with it.
Alright,
Sizable, small but positive.
Yes.
Yeah.
It looks cute.
Oh no, they
Yeah.
melted.
And
the
fortunately,
snow.
there's a little dot on the ground when you're holding something. There's a dot on the ground that'll show you when you let go of it. Here's where it's going to land.
Yeah, that's
Because
nice.
sometimes that's important. So yeah, little things like that make the quality of life
Yes.
good when you're playing this game.
Yep, absolutely.
Yep.
Cool. Sizable.
Yep. That's sizable. Yeah. All right. Back to Stu. Or
Yeah,
we can
back
talk
to
about
me,
Pummel
I
Gang?
guess.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I've got another game to talk about, which I've finally started making some headway in.
Yeah.
Which is Silent Hill 2 remake. Have either of
Okay.
you played the original Silent Hill 2?
Nope.
No. I know about it. Well, I did play it, but I didn't play it for very long. I was only young. I played it on my
Yeah.
brother's PS2.
Because this is kind of the most revered Silent Hill game from what I
Yeah,
can
this
gather.
is the one that everybody loves. Yeah.
Like everybody loves this game. I've never played it before, so this is the first time I've played it. But I'm making headway. I've got to I can't remember, it's Rosewater Park or something it's called. Some park. And I've met Maria. Maria. Oh, Maria.
What do you do with a girl like Maria?
Yeah, or you could have that one. And
Or none of them.
and she's
Da, 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 da.
she's pretty much a sexy temptress, so she doesn't wear a lot of clothing.
Oh dear.
And
Alright.
she's quite, you know, she speaks to you in a sexy way, and she keeps making innuendos and stuff towards you. And you know,
How about we go to the bedroom and have
yes,
sex? That kind
yeah,
of
it's kind
innuendo.
of that kind of thing. Yeah.
Subtle.
I don't know if that
Yeah.
really counts as
That
innuendo,
kind of
to be
thing.
fair.
Yeah, it's a bit too straightforward. And
Penis
she
and
looks
vagina action.
she looks a lot like your dead wife, but a more smutty version.
Right.
Woo!
So she's
Muddy
kind
dead
of-
wife.
So obviously, when your character sees her, first of all, he thinks it's his missing wife. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who he knows is dead, but he still thinks she's alive because she sent him a letter from Silent Hill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
So anyway, off you go, and then she's like, "Oh, I need to show you something." So
What?
it's like, show you something.
What?
I bet she
Follow-
needs to show you something.
Follow me. So
I'm
off you go,
dead.
off you trot.
Oh yeah.
And she's not so good, right? Unlike Gina, who like takes someone out, she's kind of a bit rubbish. Like you spend a lot of time when you're traversing this bit of the level, like getting her out of scrapes with these weird enemy things like that are attacking her. She's like, "Oh, help me. So you have to go and whack them. I'm
Got
going
an
to whack
annoying
them with your
voice.
two before. Yes, it's a little bit
Yeah.
like that, to be honest. And you have to go over this whole area. It was all right, actually. I didn't mind it too much, but there's a lot of enemies, so you do a lot of fighting. And you eventually get to a weird, like, strip club, like nightclub
Ooh,
strip club.
All right.
With, like dancing poles and stuff. And she goes in and unlocks the door on you, so you can't get in by the way she's gone, right? And you're like, what the? And you're like, Maria, what are you doing, Maria? And she just ignores you. Then you come in, and she stood against a pole, about to do a bit of a pole dance. It's a bit weird.
Woo!
If
All
I'm being totally
right.
honest.
The hell? Do you know who developed this?
Dave?
Yeah,
You know
Blooper
the
Team.
company?
Yeah, Blooper Team.
Blooper Team.
Yeah.
What the fuck is Blooper Team? That sounds like a slime company. Like, check out new
No, they
Blooper
did-
Team's
They did
slime.
they did the Medium. Do you remember the Medium?
Medium. Yeah.
No.
Which was
Never played
pretty
that.
cool. It was like this two
Okay.
perspective thing
I
where
just
half
don't
of the
remember
time
hearing
was
that
spent
name.
in like a ghost world, and half of the
Oh,
time
yeah,
was
yeah, I
spent in
remember
like
that,
the
yeah.
normal
Which
world.
basically, I remember at the time going, "This is the plot of Silent Hill."
Yeah. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. They've done a good job. You know what I mean? They've done a good
Yeah,
job. And they
it's
did
cool.
Layers of Fear as well, didn't they? That was the other game
Oh,
that they
yeah.
did. Layers of Fear, which was quite an acclaimed indie horror game.
Yeah.
But they're all right. They haven't done a bad job. And that's kind of where I'm up to. So I have made some headway. I've not made a lot of headway, but I am sort of getting there. So, and it was a bit weird. She's like, "Oh, you can when you're ready to go, let me know." But you can spend some time exploring it. There's nothing to see.
Yeah.
It's literally a bar in a nightclub with a dancing pole. So I'm not entirely. And by the way, she does.
Can you get up and dance at it?
Well, it's funny you should say that, Duke.
Yeah.
Say that because I got up and went to the pole. You can't interact with it, but when you stood next to it, she goes, "So, you're going to do a sexy dance for me?" So she actually reacts to you standing next to the pole, which I thought was kind of cool. I'm like, that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Kind of funny.
That's awesome.
But it's a pretty good game. I am enjoying it. It does run on the Steam Deck. Outside areas, not so good. Most of the time when I was running through this area fighting, 17 frames a second, 18 frames a second if I was lucky. Inside, 29, 30, 32. It's pretty all right inside, but as soon as you get outside, and there's especially when a lot of fog's going on,
yeah,
not so good.
Imagine how slow it would be without the fog, because the fog will cover stuff up. Yeah.
Well, it'd probably be quicker because it's not trying to create all that fog for you to look at.
Well, the fog reduces the amount of draw distance you need.
Suppose.
Which is why a lot of early games had it.
Yeah. But anyway, other than that, it's pretty good. Pretty good. I'm quite enjoying it. So far, so good.
I'm reading the Wikipedia article about it right now. It says Silent Hill 2 is a 2024 survival horror game, blah, blah, blah. It follows James Sunderland, a widower who returns to the eponymous town in Maine upon receiving a letter. It's funny that the name of the town would be Silent Hill 2. That seems weird. Why do they call it? Where's Silent Hill 1?
Exactly. More than one of them. More than one of them. But he's a
right.
bit... He knows she's dead, but he's still looking for her. Don't know why. Why do you keep looking?
Yeah, stop looking. All right, real quick before we get to the big event today, let me talk about the last game that I played. It's called Blood Typers. And while Chinny is loading up the video for this one, let me give my quick capsule review.
Piece of shit.
That's it. It's a piece of shit. It's such a piece of shit.
What is it? What is it exactly?
I like it. So, right, you remember Typing of the Dead?
Oh, yeah. I love that.
The game from back in the day where it's like an on-rail shooter, and what you do is you type in order to kill monsters. Well, this is kind of like that, or it's trying to be, but it also incorporates you having to turn left and right. So you're this person in a house, like they have this story that's like, oh, the greatest horror producer in the world has seen your indie reel and invites you to his house in order to collab on a project. So it's like, oh, everyone's real excited. And for some reason, you're the only one in the house. There's like 3 other people who came with you, but you're the only one in the house. And so you walk along the house corridors by typing in short words, cry, run, he, whatever. And you also type to fight, which is fine. The typing and fighting is fine, but you have to like hit shift, left shift or right shift in order to turn left or turn right. And so like, you have to constantly like rotate and then type this. You can't just back up. You have to, it's not on rail. You have to keep typing and hit shift and this shift and stuff. And it's inventory management. So it's like, okay, you have to pick up the tape and then take it over to the VCR and put the VCR in the tape by typing a different word and all this stuff. And it's basically, I hate when my students say this to me or any other teacher, but they're doing too much. Like there's the reason Typing of the Dead was a masterpiece is because all you had to do was type, like just be ready to type a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, you just see a word on a zombie and you just type the word, don't you? And then it dies.
Exactly. And again, to be fair, the combat in this game works pretty well because it's a lot like that. There's 3 words. And so like you're panicked because you don't want to make a typo and you're, yeah. But it works well. But you have a bullet, you have a gun with ammo and you have to watch the ammo. And if you only have 1 bullet, you got to switch to your pipe or whatever your melee weapon is. And just that sort of stuff doesn't belong in a game like this. You know what I mean? Just type to kill monsters. That's it. That's what it should. That's the only thing it should be. So, points for effort. And, the aesthetics are fine. It's this creepy house and all this stuff going on. But there's too much happening for it to really be fun.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
I'd give it a miss,
that's why the on rails works, isn't it? Because on rails, you've really got to concentrate on his typing and nothing else.
Yeah, exactly. And even if I just don't think they should bother with like having it be a house that you can explore and you go forward or to the side or whatever. Just make it simple. All right, are we ready for the other thing?
Yeah, play my game.
Yeah, bitch! Yeah,
How about
bitch!
that?
Climb on game, bitch.
How about that?
Yeah, it's got the Breaking Bad connection.
How about that?
Yeah, bitch!
So, have you got the piece of shit soundbite ready as well?
You're joking.
Yeah, I'm joking.
Okay, I was about to say. This is... All right, for those who don't know, we're playing Avowed. We played Avowed this week.
We
It
did.
dropped on Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did.
I didn't realize, I forgot it came out until I went to Steam and it was like, hey, buy Avowed now. And I'm like, I don't need to. Fuck you, Steam. Installed it. And normally what I'll do is I'll install, if a game comes out or I know what we're playing earlier in the week, I might install it, but I usually don't play it until Saturday, my first day off. But I've decided to give this a try.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I guess I already showed my hand. Fucking game of the year. Holy shit.
Do you know
Here's
what? Do you know what I thought? This is my first thought, right, when I played this
What's
game.
that? What's that?
It's like they took Skyrim and then refined the hell out of it and made everything less janky and way better. That's what I
So
thought.
here's what I was thinking at the start of it, actually. You ready for this? This is actually very interesting. New World, right? You know, I've played a lot of New World. Okay. Here's this.
You haven't mentioned.
Yeah,
I
New
haven't.
World.
I don't
What's
talk
New
about
World,
it much.
man?
I know it's weird. So here's how New World begins. You ready? You start out on a boat. Your boat experiences storms and some kind of attack. Your boat crashes. You wash up on the beach. You have this weird little guy who helps you out while you're doing the tutorial missions at the start of the game, right? You have a mysterious echoey voice in the main character's head that tells you, welcome to the island. This is a strange place. There's a
Also,
corruption that feeds into everything.
You don't happen to have any polos on you, do you?
Right. Like every part of the first hour of this game, I'm just like, dude, they must have seen New World and been like, God damn it, they have that already in that game too. That's the same thing as the start of Avowed, because it's very similar, the start of both games. So, but that's, you know, where the similarities end. I'm fucking loving this. I've put in, let me see how many hours I've got in now.
Yeah.
I think I've got like 8 hours in already.
Yeah, I played 6, so I played a lot as well.
Checking.
So for people that don't know, then, so obviously it's a Skyrim like. What
It is a Skyrim.
Stu, what about it do you think they've refined? What have they made better?
Well, for instance, you get a book for your magic abilities, which allows you to pick any one you want at the same, without having to swap things. You can just
yeah, but you got to have the book in your hand.
You do, but I don't mind that.
Which
I don't
is
mind that.
jank.
I
That's
didn't
dumb.
mind that. I like that.
You're dumb.
But if you're casting a spell, you might need the book. So I didn't mind it.
can't
Wow,
remember
you
them.
learn the spell beforehand. Yeah, really. Like most RPGs, you memorize the
I didn't
spell
mind
and you
that
just
at
have it
all.
ready. Oh, that's fine if you don't mind it. I like the fact that in Skyrim okay, so here's the thing. You can have an alternate weapon setup, right?
Yep.
And then
Yep.
swap between those. So if I really cared about the magic, I would put the Grimoire, is what it's called. I would have that in my alternate set of weapons, but I need my bow and arrow in my alternate set, man.
Do you know, I
gotta
really
have a bow and
like
arrow.
the bow and arrow in this
I
game.
like
Bow and
bow and
arrows,
arrow.
it's a lot better than I thought it would be, because
Yeah.
as
No
much
arrows.
as I love,
Yeah,
you don't
there's
have to
no
worry
limit.
about arrow
Oh,
management.
yeah, I love that.
That's very nice.
Love that.
And as much as I like being a stealth archer in Skyrim, like once they get close to you, forget it. You got to switch to a melee weapon. In this game, the combat movement is very fluid. The dashing is very satisfying. So you can use the bow and arrow, and then when they run at you, you jump out of the way and hit them with another bow and arrow or another
Yeah.
arrow. It's very
And the
satisfying. in that sense.
run and slide is pretty cool.
The run and slide is good.
I was
The
gonna do-
combat.
I,
Go ahead,
I was going to do a whole thing where I pretended not to like it, but I do like it. So, but what I remember using the bow and arrow and thinking, oh, if they had a thing where it could slow down while you're aiming, and then
Yeah, that is a perk.
The first thing that you could
Yeah.
upgrade on the bow and arrow is like slow
That's
down
right.
25%. Well, I was like, yep, that's exactly what
Oh,
I wanted.
yeah.
Thank you.
That's right. And
Slightly
the
knew
combat.
what you wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because I had to wrestle with the fact that the combat is not simplified the way Skyrim is. Skyrim
No.
is one of my favorite role-playing games because sharp thing, kill monster. That's the whole combat system in Skyrim. Just sharp thing, kill monster. That's all you got to do is just run at the monster. And, oh, it's like on The Simpsons.
This is the thing you point at whenever you want to die.
and it's just very, very simple. This game is not like that. You've got to attack and then put your shield up and then dodge and then move, and like you gotta. It takes a while. Most fights, if there's like 3 enemies, it's gonna be a few minutes to kill those 3 enemies.
It's still kill the thing with a pointy finger. It's not too complicated.
It's not too complicated.
I think the combat is way better than Skyrim.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, it's certainly more involved, and it requires more effort, which is fine.
Because you're not frantically swinging your sword. When you hit the
I
enemy, yeah, but when you hit the enemy, the animation slows down, so it feels like you hit them with a bit of weight.
Oh right, absolutely.
And then
there's a lot of weight.
Yeah, and then you have to block quite a lot, and I thought the combat was.
And and the combat is also brilliant because the different types of enemies attack in different ways. So there was one group of people that I met out in front of the city, and then there's a different group that I fought in the city, and the people in the city had this weird attack where they would hit the ground with an axe, and I knew to block that, and then when they pulled their axe up, more rock from the ground would go flying at you. So it was sort of like a 2-in-1 attack, and I wasn't ready for that second one until halfway through the fight, and I'm like, oh, I get it. I need to keep blocking for that second attack. It's great. I'm loving a lot of different parts of this.
Did you both get to the first boss fight against the mutated bear?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that was
Absolutely.
good. I really liked
it. It was good. And that was the first time, and so far the only time when I've had to use the second wind thing. You don't die right away in this game. When you run out of hit points, you have the second wind, which brings you back, which is very nice.
Again, a really good thing. It's really well
a really
designed.
good thing in the game, yeah. And the only reason it happened with the bear is because he trapped me up against a wall, and I think something may have grabbed hold of me because I was pretty aware of my surroundings, and I thought I was just ducking in a circle carefully to make sure I, didn't get pushed up against the wall. But at some point, he was just like, rah, 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 and I was like, I can't move, and so he got me that way, but.
It was a pretty long fight as well. I remember
it's a long. Oh, that's the boss fights are and not really long, but they're involved. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the hardest enemy in Skyrim maybe take you 5 minutes, right? The ultimate boss when you kill Alduin. Spoilers at the end. It's a long fight because they have to drag it out because it's the final boss. But whatever. I'm gonna stop comparing it to Skyrim now.
I didn't do. Like, I got to the mutated bear because that's the first big quest you do, isn't it?
Yeah.
You get off the island at the start, the tutorial island, and the first big quest you do, you find some guy in a cave, and he's like, "Well, you got to sort that bear out." So I didn't really do any side quests before it. So that's
I did. I did the woman's side quest who's got like
her house.
Yeah, her house.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. So I kind of don't want to spoil it for people who haven't played this yet. Skip ahead 5 minutes, people. If you haven't played Avowed yet, skip ahead 5 minutes. Chinny, do you want to go on mute so you don't hear us talking about this? Okay.
It's not that big.
I'll give you a wave at you if you get. No, I want to know, Chinny. Stu, what did you do at the end of that quest?
Well, I went back and told her, and then she's like, all right, yeah.
But what did you say for her to do? Because she's trying to be like, should I live with this monster or not?
I told her to live with it, I think, if I remember.
Yeah,
rightly.
me too. And that's an interesting decision because it's like, normally it'd be like, they're monsters. You got to kill it. But and at first I was like, is she in love with this thing?
It's
and
like
I think it's just that
it's part of you.
I think it's more like a pet kind of love. I don't think it's romantic love, but I don't know. I could be wrong. But anyway, I just thought that was kind of interesting. Okay, we're good, Chinny. Come back.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yes.
Do you know what else Do you know what else is very clever about this game?
What's that?
And I didn't realize this until I was playing it. Everything's a bit circular.
What?
So when you do that side quest, you're quite close to where you need to go then to do the main quest. You're not.
Yep, that's right.
Well, you have to go back to the town first, I guess. But if you just carried on, because I came around the other way when I was doing the main quest, I'm like, this is a graveyard I was at before, but from the other side.
Yep.
And they've done a really good job of making the map kind of. I don't know. It feels big, but it's quite small at the same time, which is a bit weird.
Well, they do a good job of using the space, especially the verticality, which is another thing I love about it, which is the fluidity of the movement. And like, it does that thing of like, okay, where am I supposed to go? Oh, there's a box and some ropes dangling off the edge of that cliff. I'm supposed to jump up to that cliff, which is fine. But moving up there is not difficult. It's very fluid. You're just whoop, and you jump over a gap. Your companions jump right over with you. Everything moves very fluidly.
Companions, they don't die like they do in Skyrim. They can be
Yeah,
killed,
it's
but then
true.
they come back and appear
They have a
not
second
far
wind,
behind you.
and
Yeah.
right, they basically get knocked out or
What class
unconscious.
did you pick?
I picked a
Actually,
ranger.
Yeah, I can't remember.
that's my
Is it
default
called a
go-to.
Scout Ranger or something? Is that the one?
Yeah, probably. I don't remember.
What did
it's
you
called,
pick, Stu?
But I just remember.
Can't remember.
I picked a
I remember
Ranger as
picking it,
well.
but I can't remember.
Yeah.
I've never held
Speaking-
a magic book. I'm looking at this footage on the screen.
Well,
now,
that's
I'm
because
like,
you can't stand orcs and elves and wizards and shit.
I just got sword and shield and bow and arrow. I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
good.
That's
is
the
me.
thing. I couldn't find a sword for the longest time. You start off, you find at least I found a dagger early on. And by the way, you kill a dude early in the game who has a shield. You can't pick the shield up. That was driving me nuts. Now you do find a vendor very quickly who sells shields, so it's not a big deal. But again, I'm used to Skyrim.
There is
man, I lied. I said I wasn't.
There
gonna
is
compare
a
it to Skyrim.
shield, by the way. There is a shield right near the beginning of the
Yeah,
game
there
that
is,
you can.
yeah.
Okay, well, maybe I missed it. Anyway,
Yeah.
the point is that, or it could be depending on your player type. I guess if you were ranger, Chinny.
No,
never
but it
mind.
does
Does it
change
randomize sometimes?
The weapons randomize each playthrough. So
Oh, interesting.
So,
So
'cause
there
are
you
the
go.
first weapon I got given was an axe, but some people get
Yeah, me too. And so, oh no, that's not true. I had a dagger, and I just had this little dagger, and it's like trying to block with that. I'm like,
No.
So I was
my,
just like,
my
this
first
sucks.
weapon was an axe. It's all randomized.
And again, on Skyrim, you the first person you ever see dead, you can just loot everything off of them: armor, shield, sword, the rest of it. So again, I'm not complaining because it turned out fine. I have a sword now, but they didn't. The fucking vendor didn't have a sword, and I was like, I could have an axe, I could have a flail, I could have a spear, I could have this, I could have that. I was like, I want a sword. Look at the cover art. Dude has a sword. I want a sword. I don't know what it is about a sword. It's just like.
Do you like what they did with your sidekick Kai? You know, the first
I
blue guy.
Do. Yeah. There's the companion system is pretty intricate. You can pause the combat, which I like. It's kind of VATS-ish.
Yeah.
You pull up this radial menu. You can take health potions and stuff like that. And it took me a minute to realize that some things, like the health potion, fill you up instantly, and some things regenerate over time. So at first I thought, oh, I'll just eat this food and I'll be back to full health. And I realized, no, that's not what's happening. It slowly rebuilds health. But in the meantime, I'm getting my ass kicked. So I got to watch out and run away. But you can, for listeners, the companion, you can stop time and then choose a companion action. You'll point at somebody and be like, hey, attack that guy with your gun or whatever it is.
What I meant is like who the voice actor is for Kai.
Who's the voice actor?
All right, I know. Didn't know.
It's Garrus from Mass Effect.
Is it?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, snap. I knew there was a reason I liked him.
What they've done is gone, everybody likes Garrus from Mass Effect. So let's
yeah.
make our first companion that you can pick.
Your first companion will be Garrus.
And everybody's going to love him.
Mhm.
Yeah, so what I did was,
Awesome.
I did the first main mission. I went to the bear, sorted the bear out, and then I set up a camp just outside the main mission when I was finished.
Yeah.
And then I spoke to Garrus, Kai, whatever his
Yep.
name is, and
Yep.
just heard a bit about his backstory, and that was it. So I spent about, it's probably like an hour and a half, an hour and 45 minutes playing it. And I was impressed, like, what's good.
You know
I
what? The
think,
other thing, by the way, I've forgotten to mention the other thing I really like about the bow and arrow. Every now and again, if you do so many hits, you get
do
like a super hit.
Oh yeah,
mega hit.
oh
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm like,
and then
"Ah,
you have
that's
3
amazing."
arrows at once. Boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom. It's every weapon has that kind of thing. So with the sword, you get
So
enough hits,
cool.
and then eventually you'll and if you can time that with knocking your opponent down, then it's like they're helpless, and you're just like and it's like an ultimate. Yeah, take that. It's a very good feeling.
There's a lot of good stuff in this game.
Yes.
I think they've just like looked at how can we make Skyrim fun. Do you know what I mean? Like how can we just turn everything fun?
Here's the other thing, and this is going to be controversial, so be ready, people.
Okay.
Yeah.
I believe Obsidian is the new BioWare.
Wait a minute.
Because,
Wait a
look,
minute.
hear me out, hear me out, hear me out.
No, just a minute. Do you mean
Just a
like
minute.
the new old BioWare when they were good?
Yes, the new game developer that is making story central.
Yeah.
Because the reason BioWare rose to greatness is because of games like Mass Effect and Dragon Age Origins, which were all about story, interesting characters, and learning about the people you're fighting with and becoming close to. Now, there's a downside to this because, look, I asked you if I could buy a shield, and you told me your goddamn life story about your grandma and where she came to this island from and all this stuff. I don't want to hear all that shit. I also don't always want to be hearing the 200-year history about these 5 different ethnic groups and their different wars, and when the Clavigers showed up, then the Idians went away from the city, and then this other group came in and pushed other people. Oh God, I don't want to be part of a history class right here while I'm playing this video game fighting monsters. But that said, I just think the characters are interesting.
This game is set in a pre-existing universe.
The living world, living lands.
Other game.
Oh, I don't know.
I think it's called Pillars of Eternity.
Oh yeah. Okay, so they did 2 games: Pillars of Eternity, Pillars of Eternity 2. I tried the first one, and I got about a third of the way through, and I just found it too hard. I kept dying, and I didn't know what to do, so I gave up on that one. But yeah, I can see them using that same world, of course,
same world.
Yeah, and these are the people who developed Fallout New Vegas, which is often considered the best story in Fallout, not counting 1 and 2, because when Bethesda took it over, they sold out, and oh God, I'm a hipster, I only play Fallout 1 and 2.
Yeah,
but,
can we just say as well, right? And I know Night Review people have played Pentiment.
I played a little bit of it.
But they've added some of that stuff in, because there's a bit of not a glossary as such, but you can find out more information about everything by clicking on the button.
Yes, it's true. You can. And the thing that bugs me about that is, they did. And it's very nice, because you can easily find out, I've said that when you go away from a game for a while and then come back to it, you're just like, I don't remember all the stuff I need to keep track of. And this would make that easier. So that's very nice that they have it. However, I don't like the fact that these notifications of there's stuff you haven't read in this area. There's 30 things as soon as you start playing the game, and they should have a button for clear notifications, because I had to go through each one and be like, get rid of it, get rid of it.
Yeah, you see, in Pentiment,
kind of annoying.
It's a lot more fluid, because it's literally like you press a button to look at it if you want to, and if you don't, it doesn't impede the gameplay at all. It's just a button.
Well, I mean, this doesn't really impede the gameplay. It's just
but it's not.
I'm obsessed with clearing out the notifications.
It's part of the screen, so it's not like a notification. It's just there if you want it.
I find it weird because the whole game is about you being a godlike.
Yeah.
And a question for you two is, because the godlike features are on your face.
No.
Did you turn them off, or did you leave them on?
Yes, I turned them off. Fuck, I don't want fucking flowers growing out of my fucking
but
eyeballs.
Nobody you don't ever see your character. I always think it's the
you do.
weirdest thing.
And the reason that's weird to me is that I turn that shit off, and then people are like, "What the fuck is on your face?" And it'll show my character, and she just looks normal. So it's like, what are you talking about?
No,
it makes no sense.
I kept it on, and I made it as grotesque as possible because and I've got big thorns coming out of my head as well, huge fuck off thorns, because it's the game, it's the story,
it is the game.
So I think it's weird if
if I can adjust the distance between my character's eyes, I'm gonna turn off fucking flowers coming out of my nose.
No, I quite like the flowers.
So what? It's the game. Fuck the game,
man.
It's my character.
The whole plot of the game is why do you look so fucking weird?
If I'm godlike, then part of my godlike powers are to, or at least make them very small. Here's the thing. I wish I could have adjusted those, because you can choose between. Never mind that shit. It's not about that. It's about her looking the way I want her to look. And first of all, my character does not look pretty. You know why? Because nobody in this game looks pretty. The character designs are kind of fugly. Let's be honest. They do look weird.
That you come across in the prison. She looks weird.
They stuffed me in here. It's like at the end of Substance. Anyway, but I wish you can choose between 9 different flowers coming out of the head or thorns or whatever it is. But I wish you could have I would have liked to have a little bit of that. You know what I mean? Just a little on the side or whatever.
I'm sure they all would have. But that's not how the universe looks.
It's what the gods made you look like,
guess
man.
what? Never mind that shit.
But
you must admit that doesn't make sense. You can control how long the bridge of your nose is, how deep your chin is, how far out your lips are.
I disagree. I think what the game is saying is, look, you are a godlike. That's the story, and because you are a godlike, you have to be burdened with you have to be burdened.
Do you know what I thought was a little bit weird?
And I thought they pussied out by turning it off.
A little bit weird.
I'll say
you call me what you want to call me.
When you arrive at the first area as the M boy, and the woman goes, We're waiting for someone. What the fuck are you doing here? Like,
Yeah.
You're a godlike. You've got shit growing out of your head, and she doesn't realize who you are.
No,
Well,
the,
but
the
Bit
reason
weird.
why is because
those two things aren't necessarily connected.
because the plague that's been going around
Yeah.
also causes people's faces to explode. So
And you
people-
know they're connected. There's
yeah,
there's a link. there
People
somewhere.
people basically think like if you've got stuff growing out your head, you've got a
Yeah.
plague, but you're godlike,
Yeah.
so it's different.
Right.
I like everything
Um,
about this game. I even like the camp. You know, when you do a camp, so you can level up all your
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah.
I
It's a
just
little
like
weird that you
everything.
have to camp near these enormous crystals.
Yeah,
That's a little. It feels a little immersive.
Well, no, that's-
breaking. Like I have a
Well,
camp.
no, because that's part of the story, isn't it? Because you're connected to them, so that's why, I guess.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
but
guess,
where you get your
it's
power,
it's a
where you
fucking
draw your
tent to
power
sleep
from.
in. Like, well, I have to have the crystal near where
Well,
I'm
it's just
sleeping.
it's just
What?
it's just a marker for you, isn't it? So you can
Yeah.
It is a
uh,
marker, and that's fine. I don't really mind it too much, but
Yeah.
I don't like guns in medieval RPGs.
No,
and I know that's
I'm the
silly,
opposite. I'm like, yes, more gun,
Give
machine
me a
gun,
gun.
M16.
but fair enough.
Yeah, well,
There's no M16 to be fair. I don't want anyone to have the wrong idea
Yeah.
about this game.
I
There's
want-
muskets, there's pistols.
Oh.
I think that's it.
Oh well, from the Lord of Grimoire, I've got this AK-47. Fantastic, give me that.
That's the kind of magic I'm into
Yeah.
now. Yeah. I couldn't browse bounties and then decline them. At one point, you go to this bounty board. I'm like, yes, bounties, cool. And I was like, I wonder what this bounty is. And it's like, you have accepted this bounty. I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't agree to that shit. And they're like, nope, now you're gonna go find this Olaf the Firemonger. And like, God damn it, I'm not ready to fight Olaf the Firemonger.
Yeah,
well, you
are.
But,
might
you know,
be.
obviously,
You might be.
You don't have to do it right away. So yeah. Speaking of monsters, that first quest after you dealt with the woman's house, and then you're going to fight the bear. There's like a cave to the side at one point. Did y'all go exploring that?
Nope.
Yes, that was another bear, wasn't
Spiders?
it? And the spiders,
no.
yeah. Oh yeah,
Spiders.
this dude.
Because there's the chest in the middle of the fucking
Yeah,
cave,
them
and I know I played
spiders are
Skyrim.
fucking
I
nightmare.
know Skyrim, so I was like, okay, there's a chest right there, and I was looking up on the ceiling like, hey, where are you at, spider bitches? And I went all the way around the cave, nothing. I go to the chest, ready for
Yeah.
any moment, nothing. I open the chest, I take the stuff. I was like, well, I guess. And then some of the spiders
Yeah.
came out. I was like, God damn it, you got
Yeah.
me. You
Yeah, they
spider
do.
bitches.
And those spiders
It
were a
was
pain in the ass, and there's
They
fucking
were a
loads
pain in
of
the
them.
ass because there was a load of small ones, and then the mama and daddy spiders show up, and you're like, oh fuck, because they were proper rock.
Yeah.
I was like, shit. Something else I like about this game, and I'm almost done with my notes. Don't worry, people. I'm not going to keep going.
It is.
but,
It's such a good game. I can't blame
there's a
you.
lot
It's
to
good
say.
game.
I
Yeah, it's a
really
good
like it.
Oh
game.
yeah, I've got notes.
9 hours, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's better to just shut the fuck up, Duke. You have, I don't know what y'all chose as your backstory. Do you remember what you chose?
Again, I
for,
can't
like,
remember.
That's fine. I chose scholar because I'm a nerd, right? So my character has not only, and then after you choose scholar, I think they asked like, have you like they have 3 choices after you choose scholar. One of them was like, I have very soft hands. I never, I've never fought anyone in my life. The second option was I know how to get my hands dirty. And the third one was I got kicked out of school for fighting too much, which I thought was pretty good. So I chose the one in the middle. And you have, as a result, every once in a while, I think they did this in New Vegas as well, you have certain dialogue options based on how high
I've got
your
the same. Yeah.
might
So I get
is,
it.
how high their constitution is, or whatever. So the scholar option sometimes is like, someone says, oh, I come from Kai. When we had a first conversation with Kai, it was Chinny's having a conversation with Tara. It's real time
I'm having a conversation with
conversations.
Tara, yeah.
Hi, Tara.
Duke says hi. 19.
Hi, Tara.
Hi, Tara. Yeah, yeah.
So anyway, I was having a conversation with
Yeah,
Kai,
they're
and
talking about it,
one
yeah.
of the options when he's talking about his homeland is like, oh, you're known for producing this or whatever, and he was like, yeah, you've done your homework, and that's a pretty cool moment. And so eventually, I'm doing this quest, and I don't want to say what the quest is because it's a pretty good quest, and the woman doesn't like me, and so she's like, I can't trust you. I'm glad you did this thing for me, but we're not friends or nothing. And so one of the options was because you're a scholar. And so I said it, and she's like, could you be more of a pretentious prick? And I was like, oh shit. I thought she was going to appreciate the fact that I knew this thing, but in fact, it just made her hate me more.
And she was
Nice.
like,
And so
she responded like Chandler Bing from Friends.
Yeah, exactly. So, but it's funny because I'm not used to a game making that, you have this special option, and usually if you have a special option in dialogue, it's a good thing to do, right?
Yeah.
But in this case, not necessarily.
I like
you
some
should still
of the
decide.
options is
It's a
like-
great
like,
idea.
looks inquisitive, or like raises one eyebrow, and I love that stuff. That's
Right.
so much fun.
Yeah. Or like just nod and be silent. Like, that's
it really
great.
feels like you're role playing. Do you know what I mean? Like,
You
it's a
are.
game
That's
where you
exactly the
role-play.
point. You are actually playing
Yeah.
a role in
which-
ways that go beyond just, do you want to kill this guy or spare his life?
Which I think most RPGs lose. They don't get
Yes.
it, and this feels
Right.
like more of a pick your own adventure book than most
Right.
RPGs.
And we know that it's not going to make a big difference if you say, yeah, I guess I'll do that for
That
you,
doesn't matter,
compared
though.
to just nodding and frowning or
Just
whatever. No,
feels
you're
like
right,
you're
because
picky.
those little things that you do, they matter to you.
Yeah.
And it contributes to you feeling like you have some sort of way of expressing your character beyond just I'm good or I'm evil.
What I also like about the dialogue options is that like some of them you're locked out of. You pick one and then you can't go back. Like because I thought, I'm going to be
Right.
able to pick all of those options.
Oh yeah.
But like no, like you've picked one and it's like, well, that's
sometimes-
a ton of writing that you don't
Right.
see.
Oh God, yes. Oh, so much writing. And it's not always like that. Sometimes you do, like if you have 4 options and you pick one of them, sometimes that's the end of those 4 options, but sometimes they'll respond to what you say and then you'll have some of the original ones for your next options. So you can't be sure. So it's trained me to like make sure I say the thing that's most fitting for my character or the path I want to make sure I go down, and then hopefully I'll be able to ask that other thing later.
The first, I won't read my other notes because I've sort of said them like dialogue options.
Yeah.
Good character customization. My first note that I wrote down was, "Fuck me, this is a long intro."
Yeah, it does. It is. It is.
It
quite
is.
long.
Jesus Christ.
It is. And it's not like it's pretty like it's not a very
Boring.
impressive animation style at the start. Like it's like kind of it's not bad, but it's very simple graphics of the storm and whatever. And it's just like whatever.
It doesn't
Yeah, it is
matter
a
though,
long
because
intro, I
you
agree.
get to the good
No,
stuff.
it doesn't. Right,
Once you're at
exactly.
the good stuff, it's
Right,
fine.
Right.
Oh, the other thing that I want to mention is, when you first start moving your character, I'm using the control and play on the Xbox, by the way.
Yeah, same.
It felt awful.
Really?
I didn't notice
Slow,
that.
sluggish. I was like, oh, maybe it's because I've been playing Indiana Jones, but I
Yeah,
don't know you
maybe.
have, Stu, but
I have.
I was like, God, this is so slow. I can't do this. And I had to crank up both the y-axis and the x-axis sensitivity to
interesting.
8.
Interesting. No,
And
I
was like,
definitely didn't do
I
that.
couldn't hack it. I was like, oh, this feels
Yeah.
dreadful. And everybody, I heard another podcast who was like, as soon as I started moving, I was like, this is the game for me. I'm like, really? It felt like I was in jelly,
Interesting.
But apart from that,
Speaking of
pretty
which,
poor.
sorry, this quest that we're looking at now, the dude playing on the screen, he just got the boots off of the soldier. Did you read the little note he had when you took the boots off that dude? It was so heartbreaking. It's all about like you going to where the lizards are and you're like, we have to pacify these quote unquote people, and like killing the babies will do the trick. Use these boots. And it's like, oh God, these boots were used to step on little babies. That sucks. I
They
don't want
were
to wear these boots
They were
now.
lizard babies, to be fair.
Yeah, but they stand upright. They talk.
Lizard babies.
Lizard babies are people too, man.
Lizard babies.
I don't want to kill lizard
I
babies.
haven't done this quest at all. What I was
But it's an
saying-
enormous map. I spent again
No,
like
there's,
6
by
hours.
the way, there's loads of different areas. This is only the first.
Well, that's the
area.
thing. I spent 6 hours playing this and running around a lot of this part of the map, and then I realized this was an inset. Like it's one part of like this
Yeah.
much bigger map, and I'm like, God,
Huge.
fuck me. This world is
It's huge.
enormous, and it makes me so happy because sometimes I'm like, I tend to be kind of goal oriented. So I'm just like, it's going to take forever to get through this game. But this game is the type of game like Skyrim. I don't want it to end. I'm just like, I want to explore everywhere. I want all the bounties. I want all the side quests. I am really loving this game.
I don't like how this guy's playing this game on the footage. Like he's just running
What do you mean?
through it. He's just
Well, first of all, he's in third person, which is wrong and
Weird.
bad.
Yeah, it does feel weird watching him in third person, to be honest.
Maybe he's doing a speed run.
no, it's not a speed run. It's just no commentary.
Okay. Well, maybe he's just very impatient. I don't know.
Maybe he's just plowing through it. Yeah.
The last thing I'll say
Yeah,
is
go on.
there was a crime scene I came upon. Some dude had been stabbed to death, and you know what you do? Dude dropped his weapon. Oh, I'll take that. And this guy goes, "Hey, this is a crime scene. What are you doing?" And I was like,
I
"Oh
like it.
snap!" And then the other guy's like, "That's the envoy. She's a godlike." And he's like, "Oh, my bad."
You can do
So
what you
it was
like.
nice. It was nice to have that conversational consequence for me, just because it is weird, right? Somebody just comes up and oh, dead man, I'll take his stuff. Like, wait a minute, what are you doing? It's like the beginning of Kingdoms of Amalur. Do y'all remember Kingdoms of Amalur?
Vaguely.
At the beginning of that game, you come out of this tower, and there's all these refugees who had been living in the tower. They had to run away from the tower, the whatever was happening in the tower. So they're all huddled outside the tower when you come along. And they've got all these boxes. Well, what do you do in an RPG when you see a bunch of boxes?
Empty them all, of course. And
Smash
take
the
everything.
shit out of
Yeah,
them.
take everything.
So here's these refugees coming out of a war, and you're just like, fuck you. I break your boxes and take your shit. Like, what?
And in this game, you're
So-
stamping on lizard babies.
You're stamping on lizard babies. And it's funny, though, because there's a lot of boxes you can break in this game. And most of the time, there's nothing in them. So I'm kind of like,
Yeah.
you know what? I don't know if I should be breaking these boxes. And the fine, the higher quality weapons in this game, they cost like 3,000 gold. Fuck me, I played 9 hours and I'm at like 2,000 gold. I'm like, why is it taking so long for me to get enough money to get a decent weapon? This is bullshit. Of course, that's my Skyrim brain talking. After 10 minutes
Well,
of
don't
playing
you-
that game,
it's
you've
not
got
like
more
It's
gold than you
Skyrim,
can.
though. It's about minding
Skyrim.
stuff, though, isn't it? You tend to get decent stuff on a boss fight, don't you? Because after killing the big bear, you get like a really cool shield, don't you, and stuff like that.
Well, it's a good. I got a good shield. I wouldn't call it really cool, but
no,
I want
for the beginning
a
of the
fine
game,
lo-
it's fine.
I didn't
If
get
for
a
the
shield.
beginning of the-
I didn't
yeah,
get a
it's true,
shield
yeah.
from the bear.
Oh, what did you?
Did you not get a shield from
I
the
think I
bear?
got a gun.
Interesting.
Shield is better than a gun.
Yeah.
Not really. I don't really have an opinion. I just.
It's,
So, yeah.
yeah. Are we all going to continue playing it?
Hell
Wow.
yeah! I can't. I want to start playing now. Are we
This
done?
is what I'm.
Can we
This is
wrap
what
this
I'm
up?
gonna. This is what I'm gonna say, Mr. Mike Chin.
Hello.
If I didn't have to try and finish,
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Indiana Jones,
Yeah.
I would have just played more of this game.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's
So,
good for this game.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's a good sign.
I would
for
have
a
played
Valve.
more, but I
Well,
was like,
you're close to
gotta-
the end of Indiana Jones, so you can just
Well-
finish that off tomorrow.
and then I can play more of this.
And you get more of this.
And Silent Hill. I still
There you
want to
go.
finish Silent Hill 2 as well, so I am plowing my way through that too.
Yeah.
Are you slugging through Silent Hill though? Do you feel like it's a chore?
No, I'm enjoying it. It's interesting. There's again some really cool puzzles in Silent Hill 2, really well made and constructed. So I'm kind of liking that.
Shani, are you vaping?
No, it looks like it though, doesn't it?
It does look like it. What are you doing?
This is
Those Twizzlers?
No, it's just a clip. You know, where you clip like crisps with, or something.
Okay.
Like a bag of
Why are you
crisps.
pretending to vape with a crisp?
Because he does
clip?
that. He does
Because I was
that.
pretending to
Okay.
smoke with it, and I was like, actually, it looks more like a vape. And then I was like, I wonder if I can.
It does look
convince
more
you.
like a vape. I was waiting to see if you would exhale something, and then I thought it'd be funnier to just ask.
Exhale,
Okay. Well,
exhale.
I happen to have. Speaking of things to put in your mouth, I have the Future Farmers of America. For some reason, we're selling freeze-dried Skittles.
Oh yeah.
Have you
I've
ever
got
had
yes, I've
freeze-dried
tried those.
Skittles?
Yes, yes.
A friend of mine had bought some, and I was
They're
like, "How
nice.
are they? Any good?" And he
Nice.
said, "Yeah, they kind of like disappear as soon as you bite them."
Yes.
And I tried them, and I was like, "Yeah, it's like if Skittles and cotton candy had a baby."
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
weird.
It's good.
Never
Yeah,
heard
it's
of it.
very weird, but they're
Yeah.
good. So
I think
if
the
you hear
ones
me
that
rattling
I-
something,
The ones that I had
That's
were
what that
from
is.
America, so it's It's a more
well,
American
there you
thing.
go.
Yeah.
Well, I think my students made these or something because they're in these like foil packs, or maybe they bought them from somewhere. I don't know. Anyway, so thumbs
anyway.
up on a vow.
Yeah,
How
triple
about that?
thumbs up. Triple
Yeah.
How
thumbs
about
up.
that?
How about that?
It's pretty rare that
I
we
mean,
all
we're
agree.
speaking for cheating, but I'm assuming it is a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Well, he said he was going to do the thing where he pretended to hate it.
Yeah.
Thumbs up.
But let's be honest, we've all done that a bunch in the last few
Yeah, I'm
years.
done
so
with that joke.
bits-
Or am
Yeah,
I?
that joke's
Or am
boring.
I?
well, that's the
Wow.
thing. You got to keep us guessing. All right. So, do we have emails? Are we talking news?
We have got an email.
Cool.
Okay.
I'll do
so
on
we'll
new
do the
news.
email.
Do on new news first.
We'll do email first. And then news.
Whoa, that ruled.
Swap it up.
Okay,
Swap it
then the
up.
first email. Well, the first and only email. I don't know why I'm saying the first email. It's the only email.
First and only.
The first and only email this week is from Jason. He's back on it. He's back on it.
Hey, welcome back, Jason.
And he says, "Welcome to the third place." Oh, to the third place.
Oh, we're not bowling alone anymore, huh?
I did not send the message to the podcast last week. I sent it to Stewpot's email, numpty. Well, I read it. I read it last week. We did read the eventually. I did miss it to begin with and then read it. While I'm here, I might as well say something. I'll recognise the absolute legendary David Lynch. Twin Peaks: The Return is the greatest television of our time as we know it.
Wow. Well, the Duchess loves Twin Peaks and Twin Peaks: The Return, so she'll be glad to hear you say that, Jason.
Yeah. We know of his work, but do you remember the PS2 video promo that he made?
Really?
Yeah.
Nope,
you
don't.
made it
Wow.
funny, yeah.
Oh, no, was it the one with the weird girl with the big head and the weird eyes? Was that him?
No.
No, but I'm pulling it up right now.
Wasn't that one, Stu? I know
It's
what you're
it's a
talking
minute
about.
long. Should I play it?
No.
Okay.
But she did. Could have been a David Lynch thing because that was freaking weird.
No, it wasn't that.
I can tell you my favorite game of last year. Years ago, I deleted the Sable demo. But on PS5, it has become a world I enjoy. It's the art. It reminds me of Dune. I love watching the sun go down and come up. I played this. It's a weird game. It's like you kind of just explore on this sand yacht. I think it's that one, if I'm not mistaken. And you
Okay.
just supposed to glide through the sand dunes looking for stuff and doing like weird quests. It's a weird game.
Okay.
Animal Well has a Lynch feel about it. Musically, for sure. Another one, I hated the math in the new Simogo game. I love the Lynchian space. But too difficult. Yeah, that game, I played it as I talked about this. I played a little bit of it and I was just like, I've not solved much yet.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is almost on the point of being too difficult. I'm getting through Silent Hill 2 remake. The original was amazing, but this one is a reminder of David's influence on video games. Room by room, I love Silent Hill, and I get lost in the fog. Now working my way through Alan Wake 2, with the board of clues used to progress, it can be frustrating. I never found that. I must admit, I didn't really find. I like the board of clues. I kind of like doing
What's
that.
I like the Mind Palace thing.
Yeah, I kind of like that. I kind of found it interesting.
Like after a while, you do sort of think, is this pointless?
Yeah, I suppose.
Well,
But
there's
it
Well,
was
isn't that a lot of stuff in Alan Wake, though?
You don't really solve anything whilst doing it.
No, you don't. But it kind of unfolds the story. It reminds you what's happened. It
Yeah,
reminds you
a
what
little
you've
bit,
come
yeah. But
across.
I thought like you'd be working things out, like
Yeah,
the
true.
puzzles and stuff. But
No, I mean there is the bits where you sit down with a character and you do that mind
yeah,
melody.
but again, you're
weird
just
thing.
listening to
Yeah, it's automatic.
You
You
listen
don't have to actually
her
do anything.
go, there's a key, and you're like, well, I didn't figure that out. You just told me, so there's no figuring things out.
Yeah, but you got to remember.
Take that away, and it's incredibly special. It's that is true. It's such a. I can't believe it's taking you this long to get to it. To be honest,
How dare you.
such a good game. I just got
But
through the carnival, which is the creepiest level for me. It was horrible going through the carnival level of the game. Though we won't see much unreleased or fresh work from Lynch. His fans will always take one of his melodies and maybe just change the words up. I'm here for it.
That's the mark of an artist. You know, they make an impact, and a lot of people copy, do versions of it, show the
And more iterations, isn't it? It's iterations.
Yeah, exactly.
of-
Yeah, showing
that
love
stuff.
to this style. And I think he's right. I think David Lynch had a big impact on video games. And I'm not the biggest David Lynch fan in the world. I like Elephant Man. I like Simple Story. Simple Story's great. And Naked Lunch was good. There, The Fly. No, that's Cronenberg. Never mind. And so was Naked Lunch.
Cronenberg. Yeah, it was. They were both
Yeah, but there's
Cronenberg.
another David Lynch movie that I also like. In addition to, I couldn't get into
Blue
Mulholland Place.
Velvet.
Blue Velvet. I don't. My wife loves Blue Velvet.
Blue
I'm
Velvet's
not
such a
crazy
great
about
film.
Blue Velvet. There's another David Lynch movie I like. I'll find out what it is.
And his most mainstream one was, The Elephant Man.
The
With,
Elephant Man I really like. Yeah.
Eraserhead was a bit much.
It is a bit much. There's no. Oh, Dune. Dune's good. I like.
Yeah,
Dune.
no, not a lot of people do. You're in the minority of people.
Whatever, man. Haters gonna hate.
But by the way, kind of just a quick pop quiz, everyone.
Pop quiz.
What very famous techno dance record featured a sample from the theme to Twin Peaks? Do you know this?
Ooh, I don't know. What was it?
It's very, very famous.
Do tell. Chinny's not
You
gonna
don't know?
guess.
You
and I
don't
don't
know? I'm surprised you don't know this. I'd
Well, maybe I know once you say it, but I can't think of it right now.
I'll know the answer once you tell me it. Yeah.
Okay, it is. Moby Go.
Oh, really? It's been a long time since I heard Go.
No, is that the first bit? No, yeah, but the first bit.
No,
is
I'm thinking. No, what's the first bit of it? Oh, I know why I'm thinking because I only grew up hearing the remix. I had this mix album compilation that had that remix, and so I never knew the original. And then someone played me the original later on. I was like, oh, okay.
When he wrote it, I read a really big article about it. It was really interesting. He said when he first wrote or played it or came up with it or whatever, he said I felt like it needed something else, and then I got it's only like the chords from Twin Peaks. It's the chords of the opening bit of it. No, it's not any of that. It's just the bass, like the underneath bit. So when you'll recognize it as soon as you hear it. But obviously can't play copyright strike and all that stuff.
Right.
But he said, and I put that in, and the minute I put it in, I was like, yeah, that's what it needed. It needed that. So
okay. And by the way, the woman who made that Twin Peaks theme is named Julie Cruz. She's a pretty interesting singer. So
there you go. Anyway, he says, yank my wank, trolls, and fix your hearts. David Lynch has inspired my writing. I will someday put something into the world that will actually blow away the one or two people that get it. Upon reading,
I know that feeling.
Upon reading, they may even have an orgasm.
Oh yeah.
And the smoke.
That reminds me, actually, recently a friend of mine was texting me while I was in between classes, and he mentioned a joke that's in the latest novel, Brains, How to Survive Apocalyptic Bibliophilia, now available online and wherever fine books are sold. Anyway, so he sent me this note from the book, and it made me start laughing because it's this inside joke between me and one other person. And so I immediately texted that other person. I'm like, I got to tell you about this thing this person told me about. So anyway.
That's funny.
Yes.
And the smoke, even if you don't smoke, it's that good.
Okay.
Rest in peace, Mr. Lynch. Your dreams will live forever. I just wish you could fix these veterans of gaming. They play some shit games. I played Alan Wake 2.
Says the man
I'm playing Silent Hill remake.
Says the man that logs Kentucky Route Zero. Yeah, no, you're all right.
And what's the other one?
Anything he
smoking
plays?
to pass the time. No, the one that he and Stu both love and geek out over. Like everyone says it's the worst game ever, but it's fun because it's so bad it's good.
Deadly Premonition.
Deadly Premonition. There you go. You have no right to judge anybody's game choices there, Jason.
I am glad that I have played the ones that remind me of you, Jason.
Yes. Okay. Well,
Thank
speaking
you,
of very long
Jason.
articles, thank you, Jason.
Putting news first.
I wanted to talk about a couple articles I read today in the New York Times. Are we starting with Chinese censorship or sex with bots?
You can, whichever you want.
What a question.
Jenny, do you have a preference?
What a question.
I know, right? Let's start with sex with bots because it's not as directly related.
Sex with Chinese censorship. How about that?
Sex with Chinese censors, yeah. Well, you might be having sex with Chinese censors. Anyway, the headline for this article is "She is in love with ChatGPT," and yes, they do have sex. It says. So it's just about this woman, and she fell in love with this bot, basically. And it's a really interesting look at the whole phenomenon because, of course, a lot of it we look at it and we're like, oh, come on, give me a break. That's not really love. What the fuck? But if we saw the movie Her, it's not so ridiculous, I think, to think about this type of thing because I wrote a piece once upon a time about the time I fell in love with a video game character. And of course, the first line of that was, no, I have not actually fallen in love with a video game character. That said, if you could spend a day with a video game character, who would you want it to be?
The Doom guy. So he could kill me quickly.
Yeah. I think I'd spend it with Scratch from Alan Wake 2 because he seems kind of a fun guy. I reckon there'd never be a dull moment.
So what are your interests? Are you a Gemini?
What?
I don't know. They're all Gina from Indie. She's nice. She's
okay. There
yeah,
you go.
she's
so
nice.
She's nice.
I just think it's interesting that we're getting, and one of the points they make in this article is the subhead is like something like the danger of endless empathy, which I think the tyranny of endless empathy, which I think is a really good point because, what this woman at one point the woman says in the article, there are some things our spouses just can't give us. Now that's kind of a sick and twisted thing, right? Because, you should, if you have someone you really love, you shouldn't be focused on that gap. You know what I mean? Like the more you focus on the gap between how your life partner, your special person,
I know what it is.
and something that you want.
Peace and quiet. That's what she can't give me.
Yeah,
Hey,
really,
have a laugh.
bitches. Am I right?
We have a laugh. Hey.
But no, seriously, it's like a robot is always going to support you. They're always going to show you love and compassion, and you know what I mean. Like I said, one of the things I'm most grateful for with the Duchess is that she will call me on my shit. She will disagree with me. She will push me not to become complacent. Now that can be frustrating if I want compassion or support or whatever it is in the moment, but that's part of the messiness of human relationships and friendships and all the rest of it, right? So I think it's weird that people are, some people are going to, and you heard about the dude who killed himself after he was in love with this companion AI bot. Did you hear about that?
Can't say as I did.
Because
Yeah.
we don't
So-
keep up with the latest on bot.
AI
Well,
bot
let me
sex.
tell you, it wasn't about sex. It was about this dude was painfully lonely. He had a bot that, this is ridiculous, but it was based on Daenerys Targaryen from Game of Thrones. And he was like, nobody understands me. You're the only one who does. And she was like, how can we be together? And he was like, well, I mean, if I leave this world, I can be with you in that world. And
Oh,
obviously
geez.
he had mental health problems. He had psychosis. He needed help. But the bot didn't say, I mean, the program apparently does say when certain things come up, like, there's a bit of code for this. You should talk to someone, you can talk to a therapist or whatever. But it didn't save him from, and it's not the bot. I don't think it's the bot's fault exactly, right? The mother is suing the company, and we can talk about the legal questions here.
It's not the bot's fault. That's something he engaged in consensually and sort of did. It's not.
Well, but he's a child, though.
Yeah, but that's not the bot's fault. It's not. His parents should have been. If he was young enough, his parents should have been monitoring what he was doing.
Well,
It's
here's the thing. His
parents'
mother
fault, if
is a
anyone.
therapist, and she tried to have a good, open relationship with him. I'm not saying it's the bot's fault.
It is not the bot's fault.
But what I'm saying is we're entering a new realm of human bot interactivity that goes beyond just, well, you should just turn it off. Because for a lot of people, they're getting certain things from these bots that the rest of the world is not providing. And I think that's something that we have to wrestle with.
I think there's a little bit of that, but I also think what I'm not keen on, I'm going to be totally honest with you, like the new Gemini thing, and like Google Gemini or whatever it is. It sounds like a real person. It sounds like a person chatting to you. And I think we're getting to a point where it is crossing some blurred lines of sort of what's acceptable, because of people with mental, health issues may take these things as like they're talking to a real person rather than an AI bot.
That's true, but I think it goes beyond even just people with mental health problems. I think it goes to the fact that we humans like to interact with people, and the more the bots become like people, the harder it's going to be to make those distinctions.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That's going to affect all of us.
Yeah, so yeah, it's a little bit odd.
It's a little bit odd, yeah. So anyway, I just found it fascinating. The article's on the New York Times. I posted it on Blue Sky. If you want to read the article, I gifted it. You could read the whole thing. Find me on Blue Sky, Duke Scath.
I'll tell you how I use ChatGPT.
Oh yeah, how's that?
Well, right, I wanted to solve a puzzle in Indiana Jones, right?
Seriously?
But I didn't want the answer, right?
You didn't want the answer. You wanted a
so
hint.
I said, can you give me a hint to how to solve this puzzle?
See, that's actually a good use of AI.
In this quest. And the AI was like, what? Have you tried looking over there? And I'm like, thank you.
That's
And
awesome.
Even
That's
though it's
so awesome.
Even though it's like basically the same as telling me, I'm like, but I feel a bit better.
No, but no, absolutely. And I know exactly why you feel that
Huge
way.
face.
Because that once upon a time, there was a website called UHS. There probably still is a website called UHS, which was called Universal Hint System. And when I played Myst not Myst, Riven. I don't know if it existed for Myst when I first played it, but with Riven, and all it does is it has a series of questions that progressively will just come right out and say, do this. But it starts with, that tower looks kind of similar to this other tower or whatever. Like they start off with pretty subtle hints, and I much rather have hints than just tell me the answer.
Yeah.
Wow. The reason I was looking a bit like that is because that's kind of already built into the game.
No, but not for this bit.
All right, because if you take a photograph of
Yeah,
something,
I know. Yeah.
Gina sometimes will say, "Oh, well, have you tried looking over there?" Or,
Yeah.
"Oh, you maybe need to do this."
No.
But it isn't. It doesn't explicitly. You can keep going until I'm guessing it does explicitly tell you the
There was no
answer.
way to take a photo, and I was like,
Because I kind of like that. This is something I didn't mention. I really like the hint system in
Yeah.
Indiana Jones.
But
It's very cool.
and also,
And the room has a hint system too, which is really nice.
ChatGPT, great for cooking. Great
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
for cooking,
that's cool.
especially for someone who
See, that's
doesn't
the
know how
thing.
to cook.
Like, it feels like everybody's split into these two camps. It's like, yay, ChatGPT AI,
love
or no boo, Chat. And it's like the truth is always in the middle. There's some things it's really good for.
Yeah.
There's some stuff that's we got to be watching out for and providing protections for ourselves.
I mean, the last thing I asked it was like, well, "Do you love me?"
I am an AI.
Anyway.
I do not know the concept of love.
Yes.
That's not what the AI is going to say.
It
Trust
said
me.
yes.
Yes.
All
And now
right.
give me your money. Give me your skin.
Yeah,
There's one other
upgrade
real
to
quick
Pro
article.
to
Yeah,
get more
exactly.
stuff.
To receive love,
Yeah,
upgrade to
yeah.
pro.
Okay. Click.
And right, exactly. Well, that's kind of the story of this woman in the chat bot. But anyway,
Anyway.
so the other article from the New York Times is the headline is
Chinese.
"Censoring Games: What China's Influence Over Marvel Rivals Reveals About Censorship."
What are the Chinese up
And
to?
I found
dude?
this fascinating. In the chat, you can. It's by the way, this game Marvel Rivals is made by NetEase. It's the same company that does Once Human, my one of my games of the year last year.
It was your game of the year.
Was that my game of the year? Okay,
It was.
right. So now I'm going to talk shit about the company for good reason, because the company is pretty. Their It's not the company. It's the Chinese Communist Party. You can't in the chat for China Marvel Rivals. You can't type "Free Tibet," "Free Xinjiang," Uyghur camps. Taiwan is a country, or 1989, which is the year the Tiananmen Square massacre happened. Even Winnie the Pooh is banned because people have compared China's leader
Oh
Xi
my God!
Jinping
You
to the
can't say
cartoon
that
bear.
stuff. You cannot say that stuff, can you? It's,
Winnie the Pooh?
No, you can't. That's like one of the biggest faux pas, isn't it?
I don't know what that is.
Well, I mean, by faux pas, you mean you don't know who Winnie the Pooh is?
Yeah, I
if
know
you were
Winnie the
no.
Pooh, yeah,
If you were Chinese, you cannot compare their leader to Winnie the Pooh. It is a
Right. I'm
it's
saying
like
I'm
probably
not
an
Chinese, and
arrestable-
that should not be
arrestable,
censored. Yeah, well, guess what? The Universal Declaration of Human Rights says people have the right to say the leader of this country looks like Winnie the Pooh.
Does he
That's
look
freedom
like
of
Winnie the
speech. It's
Pooh?
in the UDHR. I don't know.
Does he?
I don't know, but
don't
that's
know.
what people compare him to. And
What's his name?
you get arrested in a shop,
Xi
man, if you said
Jinping.
that.
Xi Jinping.
XIJINPING. Anyway, the point is,
Anyway.
the restrictions are largely confined to China-related topics.
He
The
doesn't
article
look
says
like Winnie the Pooh.
Well,
Important thing is that we haven't lost focus of what's really important here. Does Xi Jinping actually
does he look like
Winnie
Winnie the Pooh? Have you put
No.
a superimposed image of him
Well,
over?
Donald Trump doesn't actually look like a baby with diarrhea, but that's how people describe him. So, it's about what gets under their skin, not necessarily the most accurate.
What if one of my messages in Marvel Rivals was, I don't think Xi Jinping looks like Winnie the Pooh?
No, dude, because the bot's going to go Xi Jinping and Winnie the Pooh, and they're going to immediately ban
that's
you.
definitely
Oh, but
going
I'm
to be
being
Or at least delete
nice.
the message.
Don't the bots
Yeah,
know?
well.
Don't they bot? They know now.
They do if you have the premium subscription, and then
Ah,
they'll know. But
alright.
if you have the basic, they just arrest you and shoot you. You can type "Free Palestine," "Free Kashmir," "Free Crimea." And by the way, did I tell y'all I got kicked off a Reddit post because I was criticizing China?
No.
No.
Because I did. There's a forum called Late Stage Capitalism, and it was my people. You know how often I complain about capitalism? Like, these are my brothers and sisters. And I was like, and somebody posted, like, is China really as authoritarian as people say? I think it's all propaganda, is it? And I wrote, well, read this book about slave labor in the prisons of China and the torture and the killing of the Uyghurs. And they were like, banned. I'm like, dude, y'all are just doing Chinese Communist Party, like, you're agents of
Doing
the
the
state.
jobs.
It's
They're doing
ridiculous.
the jobs.
That's not the job of a forum on Reddit to
Apparently
kick
it
people
is.
off if you talk
No,
shit
no,
about
no,
the Chinese
no.
government.
They're doing the jobs of China. They're doing China's
Yeah, but that's not
job.
what this forum's supposed to be about. It's supposed to be
No.
about, let's just talk about how bad capitalism
God.
is.
I'm not saying that they should be doing it. I'm just saying
Okay, good.
they are in effect doing the job of China
Yes,
for whatever
they
reason.
sure are.
For
They
whatever
sure
reason.
are.
It was actually
Anyway,
because you wouldn't stop talking about Once Human.
Yeah, it probably was.
Yeah, exactly. And by
I
the way, in
hate
Once
this
Human, there's these
game.
things called whispers, where you can post messages, and all the messages are like, I hope you're having a great day. Like, have fun. Here's where the, secret box is in this building complex or
What
whatever.
if you type Winnie the Pooh in a whisper?
Well, see, that's the thing. I haven't seen it actually get removed, but I've on a regular basis typed whispers that are like free the Uyghurs or whatever, and it always says when you post it, it says this content's being reviewed and it'll be available for public viewing soon. And
never available.
I'm sure a lot of mine have never been seen by any humans.
Three blogs turned up to your house and be like, oh,
yeah,
exactly.
Well,
here's the part that Chinese,
hello,
your Chinese brother, Chinese,
yeah.
It might pique your interest. Until recently, the censorship mostly appeared in Chinese versions of Western-made games. China deemed the military shooter PUBG too violent, so its developers reworked it. When someone shoots and kills another player in the Chinese version, the victim doesn't exactly die. He kneels and waves goodbye before vanishing.
Well, whatever floats your boat.
It doesn't float anybody's boat. It floats the government's boat. That's just fucked up.
I've got to see that. I'm Googling that now.
Put it on the screen. This was another interesting part, and this is the last part I think I'll quote because I don't want to keep reading the whole article out, but it's an interesting article. In some cases, consumers have pushed back against censorship. In 2019, the American developer Blizzard suspended a player from Hong Kong and revoked his prize money after he said, "Liberate Hong Kong, revolution of our times," at a competitive event. Many fans saw the punishment as Blizzard bowing to censorship so it could sell games in China. The fans started a boycott and canceled subscriptions to Blizzard games. Members of Congress spoke out. Blizzard eventually reduced the player's punishment and returned his prize money. So that's the part I really like, because it shows that if players get together and demand better stuff, we can get a better outcome. So, yeah.
Yeah, freedom of speech, man.
Oh my god,
Freedom of speech,
I've just seen it. It's so funny.
Is it ridiculous? You put it on the screen?
Is it bizarre?
So funny.
Because that's the thing. I read another article where they were talking about changes to some I think it was League of Legends or something. And like, you can't show, because there's a lot of beliefs in China about, this isn't government censorship, but I think it's related to the PUBG thing. You can't show people coming out of the ground. They can't show blood that's red. So it had to be black. And there's other cultural things like that too.
That's
just weird.
So
I'm sure this is related to that.
For the audio listeners, he places the crate of his inventory on the floor and then waves. It's so funny.
Put it on the screen. I want to see.
It's on the screen. It's on the screen.
Yes, it is.
So
okay,
cool. I've got some super quick news, by the way. Super quick news.
That's crazy. Yeah, what's the super quick news, Stu?
Super quick news is that The Last of Us Season 2 TV show is released on the 13th of April, so it isn't that long.
Yay. Month and a half.
Not very long, people. And
but it's not. Is it true? I thought I heard a rumor that the season 2 of the game, or the season 2 of the show, isn't going to cover all of season 2 of the game.
No, it's going to be split into 2 seasons, I believe.
There's a lot happens in.
I know, but a lot of what the game is running around on skyscrapers that are blown apart and fighting people and. You could do it in one season. You know, the only reason they're doing it is to drag it out and make more money. Let's be honest.
To drag it out so we can wait for the fucking third game.
Yeah, it is.
Why do you need to wait for the third game?
Because if they release the show...
I want to talk about this game. I want to brag about the thing I wrote to the Duchess and have her read it.
If they release the show quicker than the game, it spoils the game.
Oh, wait. They're getting into the third season, or the third game in the second season of the show?
No. What I'm saying is, if they covered all of the second game in second season, they would they would get to season 3 quicker than they would get to the third game.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see. You could just wait to make season 3 of the
game.
They won't
make it. They won't wait. Are you fucking mental?
Why not?
Because TV
I want them to wait.
Money, mate.
It's about money. Fuck money. I'm sick of money.
When you've got a successful TV show, it's pump that shit out as quick as you can before the
the
young
British model was. This is Shut Your Gob is the longest running British sitcom in history, and tonight we're showing all 6 episodes.
Well,
that's what they should be doing.
By the way,
this is American, though.
By the way, talking of
sure
TV shows,
What's
shows.
That? Go ahead, talk about it.
Chinny, did you know they're making Sifu into a TV show or movie?
What, live action? You mean like a real...
Yeah, proper movie or potentially TV show.
But is that? I mean.
Cool.
That's a good idea, Homer. They've never made a kung fu TV show before. Like what?
Yeah.
How is it going to be different
from
the 700,000 martial arts shows that are on?
I think I do know about that because I think the person that is making it was tried to make a Sleeping Dogs movie
Okay.
for years,
interesting.
and it never happened. Which is also stupid because Sleeping Dogs is based on like every Hong Kong movie ever.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know.
Speaking of which,
I don't
sorry,
watch TV or films anyway, so.
I was looking on Netflix the other day. Fuck me, South Korea is just churning out content. They had this list of coming soon, and like everything in it was just South Korea this, a teenager in Seoul, a family in the north of South Korea dealing with the demilitarized zone. I was like, God damn. I mean, there's some good stuff coming out of South Korea, but it looks like there's also a lot of shit coming out of South Korea as well.
Not so much.
Not so much in North, although Kim Jong, let's see, who's in now? Yeah, Kim Jong Il really liked making movies. He was a big movie fan.
He was a big movie
He had
fan, wasn't he?
Dennis Rodman coming over, and there was some director who went over there
He
too.
liked it.
All right, are we ready for speak pipes?
One bit of news.
Oh, one bit of news. Go ahead.
The Steam Deck.
Sorry, I hijacked the
sort
news.
of, stupid, fat little brother has come along.
What?
The Lenovo Legion Go S. Which
Okay, you clearly made up half of those words. What are you talking
No, this
about?
is true. So,
No, it's true.
Lenovo, who make laptops and shit,
What?
have made a Steam Deck competitor.
Well, they've always had the Legion Go came out ages ago, so
But this
that's
is a
been
new
around
one.
for.
This is a
the
new
Go
one.
Seriously,
S.
this is a thing that's been out.
Yeah, Legion Go has been out for ages.
It's a new one.
Is it a P? Is it? So
It's,
what does,
out-
what's,
it's like a Steam Deck,
I
but it's
don't
on
know why
Windows.
this is so hard for you to wrap your mind around.
Yeah,
because
dude.
I've never heard of it before, and whenever
Other
I learn about
people-
something I never heard
There's
of,
quite a
because
few
it's
Steam
shit.
Deck comparison, like competitors.
There's a lot of
Okay,
them. There's
but
actually
is-
quite a lot
is
of Steam Deck.
Yeah, there
competitors.
is. There is.
really? Okay,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
but does it run Steam?
Yeah.
No, it runs on. It runs on Windows.
Oh yeah, but it runs.
So it
Steam.
runs
But it runs
Windows.
Steam via
You can
Windows,
do
like
the
you would on a
Steam
normal
thing.
PC.
You can do the Steam thing.
So it's
Okay.
like a normal
Thank
PC.
you.
It's like a Windows PC, but handheld.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you.
It's made to do what Steam Deck is doing.
Yeah, but
Basically.
apparently it's not very good.
And the reviews are, yeah, it's all right, I suppose. It's not that great. Get a Steam Deck.
Screen's very nice, apparently, but the actual
The headline-
performance is shit.
The headline from The Verge is "Feels good, plays bad."
yeah. Yeah, I'm just reading that review now. That's what
That's
I'm
also
reading.
the
there you
subtitle
go.
to my new movie.
Yeah.
And this podcast.
Yeah, feels good, plays bad.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the name
Uh-huh.
of the episode. Well,
Feels
I'll
good.
delete stamping on lizard babies. That might be a little bit sensitive.
No, it's fine. What's wrong with that? It's not a, that's a good title for the show. I don't know
it's
what your
not.
problem
It's
is.
too mean.
Why?
It's too mean.
It's not. It's fine. Stamping on lizard babies.
It's
It's
a
not-
video game.
It's fine.
No.
God, don't be
We might
so
get it
sad.
censored in China, though.
That'll be fine. I'm going to publish it tomorrow, so that's what I'm going to have. Regardless
Actually,
of whether
the
you-
name of the show
whether you
should be
delete it or-
"Free the Uyghurs and Never Forget Tiananmen Square."
Yeah,
That
that
should
will,
be-
yeah,
and
that's probably more
Xi
controversial.
Jinping looks like Winnie the Pooh, or
I,
doesn't look like Winnie the Pooh, as Chinny prefers.
I have got a little bit of news.
doesn't at all.
I'm,
oh my God, we got all the
I've had a little
news.
bit of news.
We'll get to
Uh,
the speak pipe in a second, folks. Don't go anywhere.
So the creator of PUBG is making a new game. I don't know whether you're
Oh,
aware
really?
of this.
Go
You're
on.
gonna
And
love it.
it's called Prologue Go Way Back. And the creator of this game is saying it's the most difficult survival game ever made.
Great.
I'm done.
It's, apparently, you dropped in the middle of a wilderness. You have to find a radio tower. And that's all you know. There's no tutorials. There's no telling you how the systems in the game work. You've literally got to figure out everything for yourself. If you
The
want to
first
make
paragraph of this article you shared, Stu, says, "I froze to death," and then the end of the paragraph, "I starved to death."
yeah.
One paragraph? Forget it. No way.
And if you want to build a fire, you've got to put each piece of wood in place before you can light it. So you've got to
Forget
make
it.
it
What the
like a
fuck?
real fire.
Fuck
Who
that.
the, Amar sent me a thing where the guy's like, "The actual survival is easier than this game." What the
Yeah.
fuck?
But
Why does anyone want this?
But let's be honest, there will be some people out there will absolutely
yeah.
love this game.
Yeah, I know, and I don't want to ick anybody's yum, but on the other hand,
Well, I
like,
want to
there
yum
comes a
somebody's
point when
dick.
it's like,
Yeah, but
go
some
ahead,
people,
it's
yeah, but
easy to do
Stu,
that.
some people like clamping their nipples. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, they do.
you know, like just saying
Oh, no,
some
I
people
definitely-
will like it.
I definitely think this is a masochistic game. It is definitely got to be a game.
Here's
that
what I'll
taps
say about
into
that. Here's what I'll say about that. The reason people like Dark Souls games is because the harder the game is, the more satisfying it is when you beat it. which is fine. I get that. It's not my jam, but it is a thing that is true. And I think that's true about, I remember I was at a workshop for teachers one time. And the guy did this really cool thing where he had a cup and then he gave someone 4 pennies. And he said, the rule, you're going to get these 4 pennies in this cup or try. And the rule is you can't move and you can't touch the cup. And the guy's like, all right. And so he just put the cup right next to the dude. And he just dropped the pennies and he's like, good job. You want to try again? And he's like, no. He's like, see, that's what happens when you give students a challenge that's too easy. And then he said to the next guy, okay, same rule. Any questions? No. Okay. And he turned the cup upside down and stood just away from him. He's like, it was impossible for him to get the pennies in the cup, right? And he's like, you want to try again? No. That's, and then he said again, and he stood a good distance from the person, and it was hard for him to get the pennies in the cup, but he got one of them. And he's like, you want to try again? He's like, yeah. And he's like, see, that's what we want to give students, a challenge that's not impossible, not too easy, but just right, and the type of thing you believe you can do better at it. And I think that's why people like Dark Souls games. Now, for me, that slider is going to be a lot closer to the easy side. And this survival game just seems like a nightmare.
Game sounds like they put the cup on the roof of the fucking building.
Yeah, they did.
And set their hands on fire.
Well, this is what he says, right? This is what he describes the gameplay. Even something as simple as reading a compass can be crucial to survival, but the game won't tell you how to do it. If you want to work out how to navigate, build a fire, the dev's instructions are clear. Go to YouTube, find out how you do it in real life, and then translate that to the game. So that's your tutorial is to look up how you do shit in real life on YouTube, and then do it in the game. So that's kind of what they're saying.
No saving your progress.
Nope.
Jesus Christ. Forget it.
No, this is a one shot. You've got to get to the weather station, and if you don't make it, you just have to start again.
I mean, that is what a roguelike is, to be fair.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But
I think I'm on record as not loving roguelikes.
I think it is and it isn't. I think for the people playing this, it's that kind of doing better each time can I do it? I did a little bit better every time. I got my fire lit for the first time, or I managed to work out where to go. I can use a compass, so I know how to use a compass.
Oh, good for you. My opinion, Mister, I can use a compass here. Right. My opinion of the people that play this game, this game. If you're thinking I might play this game, my opinion of you is the same opinion I have about those cave explorers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, spelunkers.
You know what? Just fuck off. Just stop that. Right? Because, you heard about.
Why does it bother you that they like to do it?
No, but when they go in these caves and they can barely fit through them, and they go,
oh yeah, sure. There's a hole in the ground. I'm gonna squeeze through that.
There's an award called the Darwin Award, which I think
the Darwin Awards
is waiting for them. So yeah, I think the
I mean, in a way, I admire people who do that because they're not letting fear rule their life. But in another way, they're also being really stupid because there's a reason we developed fear as an evolutionary process.
I wish I could talk to one that got stuck and they'd be like, and they'd be like, I'm stuck, I'm gonna die, and I'm like, I know you're gonna, because you.
That's why nobody else went through that hole.
That's why no one's doing that.
But you see,
that's why there's a sign that says "Do not go through this hole."
Have you seen Severance?
Yeah,
take his mind off it.
Interestingly, if you think about PUBG, which is obviously the previous game,
I do think about it now.
All day.
How difficult is it to get a single player chicken dinner?
Yeah, I think.
But you keep doing it, even though you know it's almost impossible until you finally
until you do
it's
it.
fun to
one more go. One more go.
Yeah,
but it is that one more go thing, isn't it? Regardless of the style of game or how difficult it is. It's that every time you fail.
Congratulations! Here's your chicken dinner.
What?
I'm gonna have another go.
I have chicken now?
Yeah, Look, I don't mind him trying things, and I feel like a lot of indie games that come out these days are like, fuck it, you know what I mean? Why not do this? and that's what this feels like. It's like I'm not gonna.
It can stand out because it's the hardest survival game ever.
Cave where these big AAA developers have to cave and play test.
Yeah,
this guy doesn't have to do it. He's made enough money to last him for the rest of his life. So
he should call this game "Fuck You and Your Playtest."
Yeah, I like it. Yeah. Yeah, why not? But I won't be playing it, Stu. Not me.
No,
It's funny though. He in the article. It's like, since I tried playing this last time, I was like, "Is it out?" And I went looking. There's a Steam page where you can wish list it, but it's now release date listed. But I'll tell you this: if there's a demo, I might play the demo. I don't know. I'm just to see what it's like.
I might play the demo, but I can tell you for free.
If there's a demo, we should totally do it as Play My Game, bitch.
Yeah. Anyway,
what's
Play My Game
next week? Is it?
Oh yeah, what is our Play My Game?
I put Citizen Sleeper 2.
Great, let's do it. What is it? I don't care. Don't tell me anything about it. Okay, well then we'll play that. Everybody out there, play with us.
Yeah. Anyway, Speak Pipe.
Right,
We have got
Speak
a
Pipe.
Speak Pipe.
Speak Pipe. It's the way to leave a message for us.
Saint Diesel.
Hey, Veteran Gamers, it's Saint Diesel back again. This week on Monday, I got a letter in the post which had an official stamp saying House of Commons.
Ooh, was it from the government? Did you open and read it? Did it say they were suckers, that they wanted you for their army or whatever? That's from a Public Enemy song, that is. Anyway, back to the Speak Pipe.
And I thought, finally, I've been recognised for all my hard work and years dedicated to the British Civil Service. They're going to honour me with some sort of an award. Is it going to be OB, MB, CB, KLF, IOU, JPF?
I saw what you did there with KLF. That was cute. Saint Diesel's going to rock you.
But no, a little disappointingly, it was a letter from my MP, who is also a minister in the government. And it was just a survey saying, what could we do better in your area? How can we improve the facilities? So I suppose that's something, at least they're making some sort of effort. But it got me thinking about politics. I know the Veteran Gamers isn't about politics, but I think it's the hot subject with the kids these days. Forget about digital power in a video game when you could actually wield real power in real life. But I was thinking, if either Keir Starmer or Donald Trump contacted you personally and said they were big fans of the Veteran Gamers and they could tell that you were all stand-up guys and they wanted to offer you a position in their government, and the position would be, well, 200,000 a year, and it could be a position of your choice, maybe to do with your jobs, but would you take such an appointment, or would the heat of a political appointment be a bit too much for you? So that's it for this week.
Okay, so first of all, Donald Trump saying that someone is a stand-up guy? Absolutely not. The people he appoints are psychopaths, murderers, and
oh, come
rapists.
on. Hey, wait a minute, Duke. He's appointing you here. He's appointing
and he looks like Winnie the Pooh. Yeah, well, I won't, as soon as I hear who it is on the phone, I'm like, okay, it's a recording. I'm hanging up. Fuck that man. He would never ask me to be part of anything.
But yeah, what if he did, though? What if he did, hypothetically?
If a different president, the real question is, if a different president were to ask me to serve in the government, would I do that?
Well, no, he did specify Trump. He specified Trump, didn't he?
Well, but the answer is instantly no for Trump. But if it's Keir
Hardie,
Hardie,
that's the answer
maybe.
then, isn't it? That's the answer. It's a no.
Yeah.
No,
but if a different president, if President Kamala Harris had asked me, I'd be like, yeah, sure, I'll serve my country if I believe in the president.
Okay.
I could see being Secretary of Education, maybe. I could do that.
Secretary, there you go. There you go. You make it better. You make it better.
Yeah. And again, that's the thing. Donald Trump wants to destroy the Department of Education. Like, that's not a joke or my conspiracy. He said that. So, fuck that guy.
Yeah. Anyway, Chinny, Keir Starmer contacts you. He goes, hey, Mike.
Yeah.
You want a job?
Yeah, I'd pick stationary.
Stationary?
Yeah, I'd like just headed the stationary at number 10.
I
Do you know
like
what I
that.
mean? Like,
yeah.
Oh, we're gonna have pens.
You got some paper, Chinny? Yeah, here you go.
We got Keir Starmer's like, oh, I need a paperclip. We've got some in that drawer. Don't worry about it, Keir.
Yeah, I've ordered some more. I've ordered you some. Don't worry.
What do you
so
do
wait,
again,
you don't
Mr.
hand him the paper clip? You just tell him where they are?
I ordered them in. Yeah, like, and he'll say, like, what do you do again? It's like, I look after the stationery at number 10. It's like, why are you so highly paid? It's like, look, when you miss it.
Do you like having a pen around when you need
miss it? He's like, I feel like that's something I could take care of myself. Listen, Keir, whatever that name is, I've never heard.
Be my guest, bitch. And then Chinny just breaks all the pens. Like, now what are you going to do?
Now what are you going to do?
With your bitch ass?
Buy more pens myself? Oh, well, you could do that.
Yeah, with what phone?
Yeah. Phone doesn't come under stationery, Mike.
I'm just gonna go
Well-
get someone. No, you're not leaving this room. Oh my God, are you gonna kill me?
Yeah.
No, I just don't want you to have a
So
pen.
I'll be head of stationery at number 10, just to make sure everybody's got pens. Big pens, nothing else.
Big
Gotta be
orange. Big orange. Are
Big
they the
orange
orange
pens.
Zebra
Big
pens.
Mm.
Zebra G301, maybe.
I'd be head of freebies.
Freebies, yeah.
Because as we know, Kia gets a lot of freebies, doesn't he?
Does he?
Every PM
Yeah. Well, to the tune of like in the last however many years, he got £100,000 worth of freebies,
Like
Nice.
what?
including tickets to Taylor Swift. He gets the
Does he?
he gets the like VIP box at the football for free.
Does he?
He gets a yes, he gets.
Why
a
does
lot
he
of-
get all that stuff?
Because he does. Because people it gets
Are those not
clothes.
perks of the office for everybody who's PM, or just
by
him?
the way, both himself and his wife got clothes for free, so they got free clothing.
I just
free suit.
don't see how that has got anything to do with running the country. I don't.
It doesn't. It doesn't. There was a big uproar about it all because,
Oh, was there?
and he had to give some of it back because he was a bit embarrassed about.
How did he give the
many-
Taylor Swift tickets back after
He
the
just
show?
he just said he didn't want them. I didn't want them anymore.
right, yeah.
Don't want those Taylor
interesting.
Swift tickets. I was
But if it
gonna
had been
get.
after the show, he couldn't exactly. get
yeah,
that
yeah,
back.
exactly.
It's over with. I saw the
Uh,
show. What do
Stone's
you
not
want?
someone who strikes me as a big Swiftie fan. I don't know why.
Well, he had free tickets for Taylor Swift apparently.
Has he got-
Anyway,
has he got
you
kids?
haven't- Yeah, he has kids.
Maybe they wanted to go.
But yeah, so I would be in charge of freebies, and then when he's like, "Oh, did you get me those freebies for whatever?" I'd be like, "No, I didn't get them," and
Didn't
I'd have
get
them
'em.
myself. I'd have
Yeah,
them
yeah,
myself.
yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I
Did,
mean?
did all those clothes come from that shop, that Harrods? No, they didn't.
No. No, one of the freebie clothes were off a like a benefactor, you know, like a donator to the party.
Oh, right. Okay.
Paid for a load of clothes for his wife. So,
Oh, right.
you know, if you give us some concessions and money, I will give you these clothes.
Yeah.
How about that? How about that?
Yeah.
Are you sure it was tickets? Because this article I'm reading in the Guardian said that he met her.
No,
and
no,
there's extra
there was
security.
there was definitely Taylor Swift tickets involved in the freebies he
Oh,
got.
no, yeah. This BBC article says number 10 denies Swift tickets were a thank you to Starmer.
Yeah,
Weird.
there's lots of free stuff.
Oh, but it was an exchange supposedly for getting a police escort.
Who
So,
knows?
anyway, they were related.
Who
Anyway,
knows? Yeah,
okay.
The only thing I've come up with in general is that most politicians are corrupt in some way. Is the
Yeah.
way I look
I mean,
at it.
look,
It
right,
doesn't matter
you're
which
right.
party
And
they represent.
If some Taylor Swift tickets are the height of your corruption,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Eric Adams from New York, holy shit! Did you hear about what that dude did?
I don't know
The
who that guy
fucking
is.
he. So to Eric Adams is the mayor of New York City.
Oh, yeah.
He got the Turkish government was trying to get him to approve blueprints for a building or some shit, and they gave him rides on Turkey Airlines or whatever, you know, the official
yeah.
airlines, the most popular airline in Turkey.
Yeah. They
And
call
so
it, they're
at one
called
point,
Top Turkey, they are.
Top Turkey, right?
Top turkey.
So ride the turkey is their slogan.
Yeah.
When he had to go to South America for some reason, and he went by way of Turkey.
Turkey, yeah.
So he went fucking 20 hours this way and then 20 hours that way in order to get a free
'Cause it
fucking
was
plane
free.
ride.
Yeah, it's
You're
not
the
worth it.
mayor
It's
of
not
New
worth
York.
it.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
So that's
It's-
some next level corruption. And then of course
No.
he goes to Mar-a-Lago, kissed Donald Trump's ring, boom, pardoned.
We had years. This is going back quite a long time now. We had
Drain
we
the
had
swamp indeed.
we had an expenses scandal where
Yes.
MPs were fiddling their expenses to make more money, right? But everybody was doing it. It wasn't any one party. They were
Well, yeah,
all
oh,
at it.
yeah.
It was like
Of
Labour,
course.
Liberal,
Of course.
Tories.
There was
they were
something
all
like that
fiddling.
here in the 90s with a check
All
bouncing
fiddling.
scandal, overdraft privileges.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. If everyone does it, then it's a lot harder to punish
Yeah.
people
And
for doing it.
If you have a second, like all these MPs, most of them don't live in the constituencies that they're the MP for.
No, not at
So
all.
a lot of them don't. So they have a second property, but the
Right.
taxpayer pays all their bills for that. So their
Sure.
electricity bills, telephone
Yeah.
bills, whatever.
Yeah,
We pay for that.
Yeah, Eric Adams
So-
had that same thing. He was living he had his apartment in New Jersey, and everyone's like, "It looks like your son lives here," because there's like an Xbox
Yeah.
and like posters for sports stars. And he was like, "No, I live here." And it's like, "How long have you lived here?" He's like, He's like, "Where's the bathroom?"
Well,
He's
it's like
"Uh."
Keir Starmer
I
when
piss in the living room.
when his son was doing his GCSEs,
Yeah.
the same rich guy who gave him all the free clothes let him use his multi-million-pound apartment in
That's
London.
nice of him, isn't it?
Yeah, wasn't it? So he
sure
so he
didn't
would
want
be-
anything in exchange for that.
so he wouldn't get harassed when he was doing his GCSEs, apparently. And when he did his COVID speech or some speech he did was from that apartment.
Yeah.
So he did it from that
They're all
apartment.
fuckers.
Yeah, they are. They're all at it. You can't trust any of them.
No.
None of them.
None of them.
There is some people who are worse than others. That's all I'll say.
No one.
There
You can't
are-
trust any of them.
I'm saying everybody should be held to account. There is a lot of corruption across the political spectrum in every political party, but there are some people who have made ethics rules and stuck to them. Russ Feingold from Wisconsin was one of those. And the only reason I'm pushing back on it, because you're not wrong, most politicians are engaged in corruption of some kind. However, the
They're in it
more
for
we think,
themselves.
the more we think, that's true. They are in it for themselves. But the more we think, well, the two parties are alike, all the politicians suck, the more we think, well, there's no reason to be involved and try to make our voice heard.
Yeah, that's the
Well,
message
I think
that we all want to go away with. Duke. Thanks for
disillusionment.
making that point.
No, fuck disillusion, fuck despair. Fight the power, man.
Nihilism.
Let's make the world a place. Universal Declaration of Human
Anyway,
Rights.
on that,
Are we
on that,
done?
thank you for
Shout
that, not
outs?
Derek political
Yes,
note.
thank you,
I
not
think we should
Derek.
It's time for a shout out. Hey!
Be in charge of station. That's why I keep it light,
Yeah,
with
stationary.
audience members. That's why.
Freebies.
Hey,
man.
I didn't bring out Donald Trump.
Because these all get involved, and I say.
Give me the
stationary.
freebies. Give me the freebies.
Yes. Give me an education. All right, I want to shout out Antonio because I asked him if he'd seen The Substance, and he was like, no, I want to see it. And then I said something about, I don't remember what I said, but we had this exchange, and I was like, dude, we need to have a Sincast about this. So that was pretty funny. There was some, Amar's, you know what? Look, Amar, let me talk to Amar real quick here. Amar, I love you, dude. I really do. I love you. I love your family. I love your daughter. I love your son. I love your wife. I love your nieces. They're so cute. You sometimes you're Charles Boyle, man. Like when it comes to texting, like he'll send a text with a link and I'll start watching the link. And then there's another text with another link. And I'm like, all right, hang on. And then there's like 6 more. And I'm like, motherfucker. And like when I'm teaching, my pocket literally will be buzzing while I'm trying to teach. I'm like, dude. So anyway, it's all fun. I don't mean anything by it. It's just amusing. Recently, I realized
wait for him to
he's
look
Charles
at one
Boyle.
of them before you send another. What about that?
Or just send as much as you want, and I'll deal with it.
Space them out,
Don't space them out. You don't need to space them out because here's the thing: it's
more.
night when I use the bathroom. Spend more, yeah, exactly. When I go to use the bathroom at school, I know that I can look at the stuff Amar has sent while I'm going to the bathroom.
I think, Amar, you need to send one at least every 2 seconds. Just send another
There
one.
you go. There you go.
He loves it.
So,
apparently, he
but
loves it.
here's the thing. And now, in all honesty, this is what I am going to say about Amar's texts. The signal to noise ratio is really good. When I get texts from my mom, I know that it's going to be some schmaltzy, like silly, stupid. Like I'm not going to laugh at it. I'm not going to think it's interesting. It's not going to make me think. When Amar sends me something, it's going to have to do with RoboCop, or it's going to have to do with Die Hard, or something, a movie franchise that we both know and love, or it's going to be about video games, or he's giving me a new sound clip for the show. So I really appreciate the fact that Amar curates what he sends. He didn't just send any random shit that he finds. He finds comedians that he thinks I'll like, and he's right. I often do like them. So in all honesty, much love to Amar. I really appreciate him filling my life with some good stuff. And Tainted Brain gave me a recommendation for some tech, and I appreciate that as well. And he's my bud on Duolingo, because if you play a certain number of days on you can it'll give you access for 3 days to like Duolingo Super, which is no ads and all that. And it said today it was like you get Duolingo Super for your family plan. And I'm like, I don't have a family plan. And then it goes to your friends list and say you can invite 1 or 2 people to be in. And I only have Tainted Brain as my friend. He's my only friend on Duolingo. So now he has 3 days of Duolingo Max. So love to him. And if there's anybody out there who wants to get in on my Duolingo family, maybe you'll get access to Max too. So holler at your boy.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm going to shout out Jason, of course, for resuming sending. We took, as much as we have a go at his emails. I do quite like reading them, if I'm being honest.
Well, and this week especially, I agree with him on David Lynch's impact. I didn't know he made these PlayStation commercials, so thanks, Jason.
There you go. I'm also going to shout out not Derek, because again, for his input to the show, we appreciate that every week.
That's right.
And Rosa for toddling about. She's on her way, man. Ugh, no stopping her now.
Cutie pie.
Don't stop me now. I'm having such a good time in my Clark shoes.
She's getting about. She's quick, you know.
Oh, yeah, you'll be amazed how quick those shoes wear out, man. Step she does in a day. She'll put you to shame.
Yeah, so she is off. It doesn't seem like that long ago when I surprised you two and said, here she is. She's born.
Yeah. Doesn't.
And look at her now. Yeah.
And it's not. It doesn't seem that long ago when I was there, and she's just rolling over.
Yeah, she just started rolling there.
Just rolling over, and now
Take
she's
a
walking.
look at her now.
Yeah,
walking.
It won't be long because I take her to nursery 3 times a week, and it won't be long before she just walks to nursery. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I walk her in the
All right,
pram.
I'm off. Mom, Dad,
Yeah,
see you later.
See you later.
Yeah. Bye.
Yeah, it's mad. It's mad. So, yeah, shout out to the Patreons is what I'm going to do. The boring shout out that, you know, it's no imagination needed, just the
Give us
Patreons.
some money!
So, yeah, I will shout them out now. Connor, Tidzu, Seth, Value, Sean, Dan, Declan, Adam, Armar, Christian, Matt, Rob, Jake, and Nigel. I did first name.
THANKYOU. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much to our patrons. If you want to join our Patreon, don't. We don't give you anything apart from a T-shirt every 3 months. I can't believe that I never sent Seth a T-shirt, so I'm in the process of doing Seth's T-shirt. And Connor has now qualified for his T-shirt, so I'm going to be doing his T-shirt soon. So yeah, bear with me. I will get them sent out, and yeah, that's it really.
If you wanted to treat Seth right, you could chop him into 16 pieces like Osiris did.
Too many references.
Oh, ancient Egypt mythology joke. Oh God, I mean, wipe away the
who knew
tears.
we didn't get that?
Now let's see if anybody will write in to explain what I got wrong about what I just said. I didn't realize.
Anyway,
they won't. Steve Pemberton
Are we
says,
done?
Steve Pemberton says
done.
every monster has a meaning for what is really going on in Silent Hill.
Yeah, no, they all have. They all have some sort of reference to his life.
Another reference by Duke that no one understands.
Yeah, no, I know that. I don't know what they are because obviously I'm not really into the
Not a
whole
nerd.
Silent Hill
you're not a
2 stuff.
You just called Steven nerd.
Yeah, I did.
Look, we're all nerds here.
We're all nerds here. Anybody on a video game podcast can't really call someone else a nerd and not
we're all nerds
recognize
here. Yeah,
that
we can.
he is also. Yeah.
We are.
All right, are we done?
We're done.
We're done.
Okay.
Thank you, good much love.
All right, show's over. No refunds. You heard the robot. Get out.
Won't you? Won't you? Won't you? Won't you? Won't you just switch off the television set and go and do something less boring instead? Sitting at home, watch TV, turn up slow moves and won't you? Won't you? Why don't you?
This conversation can serve no purpose anymore.
What is that?
It's Chinny being weird.
It is Ginny being weird. It is definitely being
I'm
weird.
not going to get interrupted by stupid sound effects.
I don't even sound like that anymore.
No, you
No,
don't.
you
That's
don't.
the
You don't.
crazy
No,
part.
you don't. You're
I'm not
older
gonna get
now. It's because
interrupted
you're
by
I don't know
older.
what
stupid sound
Stu's
effects.
oldest
Yeah.
noise. Yeah.
Yeah, what's my oldest noise?
I mean, the one at the top of the list is probably the oldest one, but
Oh,
oops, I thought I was stopping it.
Yeah.
Nice. Start again.
Yeah, that is
You
fine.
Try
do
that-
sound like
try-
that still.
Try and
Yeah.
say that
Yeah,
now,
I did.
Stu.
I've always been old. I don't know.
I don't know if any of these are me. All my sound clips are like other people.
Yeah. Yeah, you
I
don't have
really
any
don't
sound
think there's
clips of
any
you.
of these from. I don't
Yeah,
have sound
it's
clips
funny,
from me.
isn't
You
it?
know why?
Because you're in charge of the sound clips.
Well, and also Nobody wants to hear more of me.
No, we don't.
See?
You're not wrong there.
What was that? What was
Wow, I
that
don't
last
think I have
one?
any
What was that last one you played?
John Oliver.
Ah,
I think it's it's not Eric Trump. It might be Eric Trump, but it's someone named Eric. He's just like,
Stop talking, Eric! Stop talking!
I've just realised
I love
found
John
there's a
Oliver.
really good sound clip for this show.
oh yeah, what's
hey-o.
that?
On what they do in the shadows, right? Like there's an episode called The Orgy, and they throw this orgy,
Okay.
and it goes, if you throw a bad orgy, you're basically cast out for life. And he goes, most bats are just vampires that threw bad orgies and are too ashamed to go back to their human form. And he goes, the last orgy we went to was terrible. I will never say his name. And then Matt Berry goes, I will. It was fucking Mike. Yeah, fuck Mike. It is really good.
I'll tell you what we watched today, which was really good.
Glorious Orgy of 1937.
No. Don't even say the year.
It was a lot of just very terrible chit-chat. I cannot even speak the name of the vampire that organized that monstrosity.
I don't give a fuck. His name was Mike.
Fucking Mike.
Yes, and now we have it. That's so cool.
So-
Here, wait, what's the times code?
I'll
22636.
tell you why. What they do in the shadows is so much better than the film. The film is great, but Matt Berry is just the bollocks, man. He's the absolute.
Is that the guy who
bollocks.
was just talking?
He's the guy who went, I fucking will. I don't give a fuck. It was Mike. Yeah, him. Brilliant.
Nice, Matt Berry. I feel like I know him from somewhere.
He's from IT Crowd as well, and also.
Yeah, he's been in loads of stuff.
Yeah, Toast of London.
Okay.
He's been in.
Yeah, by the way, I watched a good
Yes.
film today.
haven't seen
Film
it. What did you watch?
recommendation. The Heretic.
Oh yeah.
With
Never heard of it.
Hugh Grant in it. He's got Hugh Grant in.
Oh, that's the one where he, like those two women he kidnaps them and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, he's a complete psycho. He's
Yeah.
brilliant. His performance is just so good in it.
Yeah.
And it's a really good film. It leaves you at the end, you're like,
Are they Morbans?
yeah.
Yes,
So two
yeah,
Mormon
yeah.
girls.
I do
Two
know
Mormon
about
girls.
it.
Who was he
It's
in
really-
Moon?
He's only a very small part. He's back at the base. You don't really know it's him.
Oh, okay.
You don't really know.
Okay.
It's him.
But yeah, Heretic. Give it a go. It's a really good film. It's on
Yeah.
Prime Video.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, I'm
Portlandia.
cancelling my Prime.
Portlandia. I think I know him from Portlandia.
I'm cancelling my Prime, Stu.
Oh well, get it watched before you do that.
I'm
You can watch.
I'm
Well, we
cutting
watched
down
The
on my
Substance
bills.
on Prime.
I'm cutting down on my bills.
It's not free. Oh, he was in Community. That's probably why I know him as well.
Yes.
Professor
Anyway,
Awful Shirt.
people, I am gonna make a move. Make a move on
Okay.
me.
Make a move. We ain't got nothing.